Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a tutorial on the VeryPuzzle Rhombic Tuttminx 66. So this is the special variant of the Rhombic Tuttminx that has the 12 regular pentagon faces replaced with these regular hexagon faces. If you want to know where this fits into the rhombic series from VeryPuzzle, I do have a video on that topic called the Rhombic Series Exploration, and there'll be a link in the description. Now, I'm going to show every step of the scramble and solve of this puzzle. It's a fairly long solve. It'll be quite a few hours. And I encourage you to watch as much or as little of this video as you need. Down in the description, there'll be some indexes where all the major parts of the solve are. So if you just need help with the last two faces or with some aspect of the solve, you should be able to find that and go right to it if that's what you want. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and start the scramble and kind of get going here. And while I'm starting to scramble, I will talk a little bit about my approach. I like to have a kind of a landmarks on the puzzle. So yellow will be one of my landmarks, and this orange face will be the other one. So the only real scrambling we can do is we have to shuffle all these pieces across the the irregular hexagons in the middle. Now it might actually start to be more visible. And there is some alignment to do as you move between these regular hexagons. So for example, to move that, I had to move this face, and to move it back, I have to move it back just a little bit. Now that may seem tedious. I was worried that it would be tedious when I first learned about this puzzle, was first looking at it, but you know, it's really not bad. And what you'll see, I hope by the end of this video, you'll see just how natural and a routine it becomes to just flip those back and forth. Now, this is a fairly shallow cut puzzle, so shallow cut puzzles do tend to be a bit easier. One of the things I like about it is that the consequences for making a mistake are pretty mild. You might scramble a couple of faces, but you're certainly not going to ruin the entire solve like you would if, say, you messed up on the end game of Atomos star, or say the gem 4, Diane gem 4. These are very deep cut puzzles, and yeah, you make a mistake there and you'll be having to restart. So this is a fairly good puzzle. Even if big puzzles aren't your thing, this isn't really a super big challenge to take on. There are just a couple of algorithms in the solve that I need. In fact, one of them I'm still trying to work out. I haven't needed it in some cases, and then in other cases I do. Whatever happens, I will show the algorithm even if we don't need it on this particular solve. So you see what I'm doing here is I'm just shuffling pieces back and forth. Now this takes a little bit of time to get going, because when I first start there's only a couple of colors there. But what you'll see is that as I expand out here and I shuffle the different colors back and forth, they will become more and more mixed. And yeah, so yeah, this is I like this kind of puzzle. The other thing about it, because there's really no algorithms, there's just a couple to right at the very end of each of the steps. You just apply it a couple times and then you're done. So for the most part, it's just shuffling pieces around, just like I'm doing now to scramble it, and that's pretty much all you do to solve it as well. Just scramble pieces back and forth. So because of that, oops, okay, I left that turn. That's the thing, that these irregular hexagons have to be turned 180 degrees. There's no intermediate steps, unlike, say, the Rhombic Tuttminx. So somehow I've got that, I'm just sort of off here a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so okay, there we go. I just had to get myself back and get my focus on here. So yeah, these puzzles are really ideal if you're busy and you don't have hours and hours to spend solving a puzzle. It's fine because you solve a little bit of it, you come home, you relax for a while, you solve a little bit of it, and then you can go do other things. Just the puzzle will be there, and when you go to pick it back up, you don't have to worry about losing your place because it's very obvious what you need to do at each step. And so you can just leave it for a little while and come back to it. That's why I like these sorts of puzzles. It's sort of a little bit like the big Rubik's Cubes. If you're solving one of the big multi-layer Rubik's Cube, it's the same idea basically. You can just kind of do a little bit of it and then just put it aside for a time, and it will still be there. You don't have to figure out where you were. So yeah, it's very, very relaxing. The other idea I had for these big puzzles, and I don't know anyone that's doing this. I certainly like to hear about it. Is maybe as a sort of a family thing where you get people together, and each person takes a bit of a turn solving it or scrambling it. Get people that aren't good at solving puzzles to scramble it. And you can see how it's pretty straightforward to scramble this thing. Yeah. Now I'm going to scramble all of the hexagon, the regular hexagon faces, and then I'm going to focus a little bit on making sure that the irregular hexagon edges are scrambled. They are a little harder to move because they really don't move very far. So we have to just have to make sure that we get it to give it a good scramble. Get those moved around. So this is my strategy, and I'm sort of trying here to not take too long, but I do want a fairly good, thorough scramble. Now, as I'm talking about this, I will say some of the challenges of this puzzle. The regular hexagon faces have these textured carbon fiber stickers on them, and it is a pattern. I'm going to move it towards the camera here. It is a pattern. The carbon fiber texture goes straight across the face, so that's actually a very important consideration for the solve, because it gives each one of these pieces, the edges and the corners, a specific location on the face, so you can't just stick them in randomly. Having said that, and I'll show you another one that might even be easier to see. I do consider, because the pattern appears to be perfectly symmetrical across the horizontal axis, so in other words, this edge and this edge are equivalent if you have the stripes going across. So I do use that fact with some of my solving techniques just to simplify some aspects of the solve. So basically we can use those equivalent few pieces, the edge and the corners, that seem to have the same pattern on it on the top and the bottom, and use that to our advantage to solve it. The irregular hexagon faces, these outlined faces, don't have a pattern, so it makes it, but the only edges that can really get flipped upside down or rotated are edges pieces, these tiny triangles, which are little corners, and I suppose theoretically they could get turned, twisted, but it doesn't matter because they're just solid, so there's no orientation step to do. Now there are members of this family, this rhombic series, that do have patterned those tiny triangles, and they do have to be oriented. And I have a fairly involved algorithm that does orient them. Yeah, it's tough. But this is why I like this puzzle. It's just I think it's a really good balance. It's a big puzzle. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of different things to do as you go through the solve, but it's not super hard. It's an achievable goal for most puzzlers, I think. Anyway, so yeah, so here we go, just kind of trying to shuffle everything and trying to break up the colors as best I can. and move everything around, because you really, you want to have a good experience when you're solving it. Keep in mind also that I am trying to break up all the different the regular hexagon pieces, but actually as we do the solve, they'll get a little bit more scrambled just because of the way the solve works. So it's not, if you have a few chunks that are still together, you don't have to obsess about it. Of course, I'll say that while I'm obsessing about it, but it's yeah, you want to do a good scramble on the thing, give yourself a good experience. So yeah, so we're trying to, all right. I have to say, this is one of my more favorite recent puzzles, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now you'll notice there's not a lot to grip here, so I'm just kind of pinching it or using my thumbs. Sometimes I'll use two thumbs, try and speed things. It is breaking in a little bit. It's not particularly bad. It's certainly not giving me blisters or anything like that. It just, the thing that happens is that if I solve for too long, then the next day my fingers, it's mostly my joints and, I don't know, tendons. The tendons get sore. Anyway, something in my fingers gets a little bit fatigued from doing all that, but it's nothing, it's nothing overwhelming. I can still do my thing. I think that's probably true of any big puzzle. There's always some effect of it the next day. I know if I solve really big Rubik's cubes, then usually it's my wrists and my forearms that get tired just from holding the thing. You may notice I'm solving on a little cloth. I like that. I do have a little holder that I have it's a glass candle holder, which I'll put it on when have to step away. I like the glass holders, but not for this. I prefer to solve it on this, or even just in my lap. If I wasn't sitting under a video production rig here, that's something else too. Is I'm probably making this look a little more awkward than it would normally be, just because I'm not quite as close to the puzzle as I'd really like. And especially when it comes to matching corners and edges, you'll see later on that it's a little harder under these very bright lights. Whereas normally I'd take off my glasses and just hold it right up to my eyes. But anyway, it's not terrible. But this does require a fairly strong light. As a matter of fact, I was solving this in a hotel room a couple months ago. And I actually brought my own lamp, because hotel room lamps are notoriously dim. All right. So yeah, just something to kind of funny if you're, obviously I was traveling by car, so I could bring a lamp. And okay, so those don't look split up, but they actually, as you'll notice, that they are split up. It's just the pattern is completely flipped around there. Okay, we're getting to, I think we're getting a pretty good scramble here. It looks like it might work. And it's worth spending the time to scramble it up. You're going to be solving the puzzle for a while. Ooh, I'm missing a whole side over here. Yeah, you'll be scrambling, you'll be solving the puzzle for a while, so might as well just take the time. And yeah. So this is the other puzzle in this series that's most closely related to this is the Rhombic Tuttminx itself, which I have a whole video on where each puzzle fits in a series. If you want to watch that, I have a link in the description for this video. It's called Rhombic Series Exploration, and it'll just kind of show you which puzzle's which and all, how they compare, how they're different. So if you're thinking about getting some of these puzzles, it's you'll be able to make an informed choice. But yeah, the Rhombic Tuttminx is it's sort of, I wouldn't say it's easier than this puzzle, but it's just different. There are some you do have to do corner rotations. There are blocking moves, which I would say this doesn't have blocking moves, but just the constraint on the irregular hexagons being only able to turn 180 degrees, it's sort of like a very big blocking move. On the Rhombic Tuttminx, they can be turned at different, not just 180 degrees, at whatever it is, 60 degrees or something. So, yeah. Okay. I think we're getting some pretty good scrambling, trying to get everything moved out of the way here. Okay, well, that didn't. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, jeez, a whole face. It really is a big puzzle. There's a lot to it. So there are 12 of these regular hexagons, and then there are 30 of these irregular hexagons. It's kind of a squished hexagon. So it's a big puzzle. 42 faces, 42 axes, and you know, they use the term Tuttminx, but it's similar to a Tuttminx, but the Tuttminx is based on a very different geometric solid. But it just so happens to sort of at least when you turn that the base puzzle into a sphere like this and do some other things to it, you end up with something that really does resemble a Tuttminx. It's got more faces, but in a slightly different configuration, but it sort of behaves a lot like a Tuttminx. So I can sort of see where they would say that. But yeah, anyone expecting a straight up Tuttminx solve might be just a little bit, I don't know if they'll be disappointed or just surprised. But it's just one of those things. Yeah, I was quite intrigued by this whole thing when they first came out, because yeah, Tuttminx, but it's not. And VeryPuzzle has a spherical Tuttminx. They actually have, it's just a straight up transformation, spherical transformation of a Tuttminx. Which can create confusion, and I know due to some kind of error somewhere along the way, I ended up getting one of the spherical variants, which I like it, but I was trying to order this puzzle, and they shipped me the spherical variant. So, yeah, but that's a pretty rare thing. I haven't had that happen other than that one time. So, okay, where's the? Okay, you got a chunk of this, and yeah, I'm gonna keep going a little bit here just because the advantage you have is you can always just fast forward if you've given up on this stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to split up all these chunks of the same color. Okay, that's looking good. I'll just flip that around and then try to bring some more over here. So one thing you may notice if you're following along here on the Scramble, that the regular hexagons are getting pretty nicely shuffled, but these irregular hexagons really are pretty much staying intact. And that is one thing I will say, is that the regular hexagons and the irregular hexagons on this puzzle are very, very loosely coupled on the puzzle. It's almost like they're two separate puzzles. And that may actually, that's maybe a very strong hint for how we solve this thing, what the approach to the solve is going to be. So what I'll do now, because of that, I'm going to try and move some of these pieces. I see we got a nice chunk moved there. But see, I'm going to try and break up some of these little corners and edges as best I can. And by doing a couple of them, it'll actually break up a few of them. So yeah, so we'll try and do that. And of course, I ended up bringing one piece back. So I'm just gonna do a more elaborate scramble on this little section, because we basically that turn that I just did sort of solved as much as it split up. Okay, so that's better. And then we can just kind of flip that around. Okay, so these ones are all nicely stirred up. That's great. And likewise, these ones probably I should have maybe did some preliminary first. But there we go. That's we're getting a better scramble there. These ones are still completely intact. So okay, and so right at the beginning, I did talk about how it can be moving the regular hexagons to unmanage the irregular hexagons, just how that looks. And I hope you see now that hopefully maybe even haven't noticed, just every time I do a little bit of a wiggle on these faces, it just becomes so second nature that it's just hard to, it's not really an issue. As I certainly was wondering what it would be like when I started solving these, thinking, well, this looks like a real pain to keep moving these back and forth. But as you see, it's really not much of an ordeal at all. Okay. All right. Got that. I'm just trying to get that one flipped around. Yeah, the more you can get these split up, the better. Oh my! It's just there's a whole So what I'll do, just gonna go down here and flip a couple of around just to stir things up a bit more before I try to break that one up. There we go. Okay. And now I'll break this one up, and I'll try and get the different pieces to scatter to the winds. So we'll take this chunk and we'll move it that way. And I get this chunk and I'll move it that way. And I get this top chunk and I'll move it that way. There we go. So that's got that. And then just to make it really clear, and I'm going to show you all this. I know one of the questions I had was how to work with these little triangles, and I'll show you my technique. I think it works pretty well for me. Okay, it's yeah, you know, it would be easy to spend way too much time trying to break these up, just because they don't move very far. It is hard to get them to really go far. So you know what, stuff like this, I think we're probably pretty good here. Okay, I'll try a couple more, but yeah, it's not gonna be. All right, I think that's pretty good. I don't see anything really terrible. Okay, I'll try a few more of these. And all right, wow, okay, well, we have some confetti. So that's the scramble for the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. And time to take just a little break, and when we come back, we will talk about the solve and then start the first step of the solve. And we're back, ready to start the solve of the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. So I said earlier that this puzzle really is almost like two puzzles. You have the regular hexagon faces, which can be solved, and then you have these irregular hexagon faces. So what I like to do is start with the irregular hexagon faces first. I don't think it really matters which way you're gonna start, but that's where I like to start to solve. So I like to have landmarks on my puzzle. It's just to help me remember where I am and kind of be working towards a target or away from a target. In this case, the first half of the solve will be on the yellow face, and then we'll move and do the other half on the orange face. And I've just picked those two colors. It could be any two colors. So that'll just kind of be the place I start. So what I will do then is I'll solve all of the faces around the yellow. I'll solve all of the irregular hexagon faces, and then I'll just work my way out. So let's take a look then at one of these irregular hexagons. One thing we notice is at the middle of it, we have 4 colors, and that actually gives us the color scheme for the surrounding faces. In particular, the 2 big stickers tell us what the adjacent faces should be. And the first thing we note is that this irregular hexagon face is upside down. So once I turn it right side up, that matches and that matches. And now these 2 stickers tell me what the adjacent colors are. As I proceed with the solve, one of the things I'm going to do is make sure as much as possible that I'm turning these right side up, because I want to make sure that when we're solving it in the right orientation. Not difficult to fix, just annoying to have to fix it if you solve it and then find that it's upside down. Okay. So that's my first sort of step, is to go around and make sure all of the adjacent pieces are in the correct orientation. Just immediately in the immediately surrounding area. No need to go any further. As I'm solving, I'll be working on it. Okay. So so here we go. I guess I may have lost. Oh yeah, where was I working? Okay, see, now I've lost my place. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll pick this right here. So we got the yellow and the lime green, and so I need this kind of this mid pink, I guess. I don't know what color you call that. Sort of a mid pink. Now, most of these pieces, all but one of these pieces, have 2 colors on them, so there really is no concern, as there have been in other puzzles, about trying to figure out which shade of blue it is, or which shade of green. They all have 2 colors on them, except for that little piece in the middle, and I really haven't found that to be hard to figure out. Okay, so we have the yellow and the green, and so now we're going to try, well, what I'm looking for is something that matches the green over here, well, or the purple in this case. So we're looking for this color, this kind of mid pink, and we're looking for one that's this mid pink that also has a yellow there, and then over here the mid pink, or it has a lime green. So I'll look around for those pieces, and we're gonna do it like that. We'll do the outline stickers first, and then solve the little middle piece, the little triangle, which is right there. We'll solve that last, and I'll show you how to do that. So this pink then, and they usually don't go too far. There is one of them right there. So this one with the lime green and the pink goes right there. And you can see that if I just turn this face 180 degrees, this slot will actually be there and ready to receive that piece. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn this one out of the way. Okay, I'll turn this face in. This is the slot that we're trying to solve. I'll turn this back. Okay, put the piece in, and then I'll turn everything back. That's really the basic strategy for solving these faces. And what you'll notice is you can actually do that even when you have a face solved. Sometimes it does a little damage, but it's usually not too bad. So the next one then is this same color pink, but with a yellow. So I'll just look around. Basically, the yellow sticks out, so I'll just look for that one. Somewhere around. Okay. I did a really good scramble. I think that's the beauty of it. Wow, did I ever do a good scramble? Okay, maybe I'm just not seeing it. Okay, I'm sure that everyone watching has seen it 3 times now. That's the other thing about watching someone solve a puzzle. There it is right there. Is it? No, that's not. It's like, okay, not even know what I'm looking for. Yeah, so that's everyone watching you solve a puzzle is like, it's right there. There it is. Okay, so this is the, so now we got to get this piece somehow up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this piece just a little closer. I don't really have to, but there it is right there. So now you can, I think, maybe see the strategy emerging. If we somehow get the target slot right there, then I can just rotate this piece in. There's the target slot. Now, because we're doing this systematically, we may sometimes kind of wipe out faces that look kind of partially completed, but it just if we haven't solved them yet, we don't care about them. We have to be brutal that way, I'm afraid. So there we go. We started between the yellow and lime green, and we have that. And it's looking pretty good except for the pink. So I'm going to show you how now I put that center in as the very last thing. So there's the piece. There's the one that we're trying to put in place. But if I just turn it down, it would kind of flip that out of the way. So what we want to do is hide this out of the way. And in this case, it doesn't really matter which way we go, but let's just go this way. Okay. And so now I'm going to turn this piece here, and it's looking pretty good. We could actually turn this piece in here, but the problem is it would take that out. So we don't want to do that, right? So we're going to have to do one more level here. And because this piece, we got to kind of strategize. I have this irregular hexagon, which has this piece, and this irregular hexagon, which has this piece. So I could turn this one and move it here, or I could turn this one and move it there. Which way we go depends on what we're trying to protect. So if I flip this around, this piece is going to end up here, which means that I want this piece not to go this way, but I want it to go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to turn this in the opposite direction. This shall all make sense when I do the next turn. So now I'm going to turn this, and now the piece we're attaching to is here, and the piece we want to attach is safely over here, so that when I turn it, it doesn't do anything to the piece that we're attaching to. And now all I have to do is undo all of that. It may seem like crazy, but all I have to do is just undo all of those moves, and there it is, perfectly solved. Okay. And that's going to be our strategy as we go through this. So what I like to do is I like to solve to the right, and then everything, which means everything below and to the right is fair game. It hasn't been solved yet. And everything to my left has already been solved, and so I don't want to touch it as much as possible. Okay, so let's just keep on going then to the right here. So the next one then is going to be this lime green, and it's also got this blue on it. But we want to do the lime green now. And the first thing I see is that this adjacent regular hexagon is flipped wrong. So I will flip that correct. And that's kind of the first thing I do, is I kind of look around to make sure all the adjacent faces are correct. So now we have a bit more of that. And I can actually see we have a fairly decent chunk right here. Normally I put these in at the end, the little triangles, but this happens to be attached, and it goes right here. So what I'm going to do, if I can all avoid it, I'm just going to wait till the end here, which means that I want to put in this chunk, which is a lime green and a purple, and this chunk, which is a lime green and a brown. So I'm going to look for those. There's a lime green and brown right there, so that's good. It goes right here, so I'm going to flip this around. It means we want to put that one in, and that's actually perfect. We can just go ahead and put that piece in and then undo it. And because I flipped this back here, oh, okay, now I corrected it. I just want to make sure if I had flipped it wrong, it's a good idea to just go back and fix them, you know, just to keep everything in the proper orientation. All right, so the last piece then I have to put in is that one, and hopefully I'll find it on this side, and it's lime green and purple. Now, if it's over here, that's okay. We can deal with that, but hopefully it came this way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wow, look at that. That managed to escape to the other side of the puzzle. Okay, I just want to see where we are in relation to that chunk that I'm trying to preserve, which is right there, which is there. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, so we can come this way. Not the best, but it'll be fine. So I'm gonna move this piece. Well, I kind of got to be careful here because this piece kind of has its own orbit, so it may not want to go in the direction we were asking it to. But I'm just gonna keep flipping pieces up here. I keep getting closer and closer until I get close enough that I can then make a better strategy. So, okay, so there we are. That's actually not bad at all. Yeah, this will work. So there's the piece. I'll flip it one more time. I might have to pull it back a bit, but there's the piece we're putting in. There's where it goes. I think we're good. So just come down here. And I'll flip that one up. There you go. And that one in. Okay, I'll put that one back. And now I'm just going to go back and just make sure I haven't flipped any of these, or if I have, I'll put them back. Like this one, I'll put it back. It's just the ones that are close to where you were working. All right, well, this one's all done except for this little chunk here, which is right there. And hopefully I've convinced you that this is a pretty straightforward replace here. Now I turned it in this direction because when I turn this the target slot, it's going to be in this direction. If I was working on the other part, I would have turned this this chunk. I think actually it's in that orbit, so I really couldn't have turned it in the other direction anyway. But with the corner, you have the choice. It's the only one that can go in two different directions. All right, well, I think we're ready here to flip this in. There we go. And look at that. Okay, so it sort of helps to keep stock, and that's why I like having that yellow as my kind of my landmark for this half of it. We did the pink already. We've got the green done, and we're just going to keep going around here. And it'll get slightly easier as we go. There's fewer pieces to look for. So this face looks like it's flipped. So let's start. That's most important. Start flipping. Get it in the correct orientation. This one is correct. So we're good here. And looks like I'm looking for this kind of this mid blue. Okay, mid blue. Okay. Oh, I see what happened. I think I was gonna do one of these first, but then I decided to start with the pink. So, and then this, it's gonna have brown. It's gonna have this olive green on it. And then this middle part will have yellow. Okay, let's see if I can find it. There's one with the brown on it, so let's just go for that. That's the piece right there, and it's over there, and I think we're lined up correctly. Yep, we're lined up correctly. Now I can just flip this in here. That'll work. Oops, it's going right there. Sometimes you might have to, if you've got it too close, you might have to back up a little bit. Okay, but there's the piece, and I'll just put this one back. Okay. And just looking around here, see where everything got. Okay, there's the blue with the olive green. Okay, and I'll just leave it here for now. I think that'll be okay. Okay, so that's their target. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Okay, so one more chunk that's there, which is going to be the blue with a yellow. And so that should stick out pretty well. Wow, did that ever... that ever go? There it is, way down there. Yipes. Okay, well, we'll deal with it somehow. There it is. So bring it up here. Yeah, so I was saying before, the little corners can go pretty much any direction, but these ones, the edges, they're pretty much in their orbit, and don't really think there's any fixing that. Now, you know, I don't like this situation where we're stomping over something we already solved, but I will show you, just because I'll show you that it's really not the big ordeal that you might think it is. So I'm going to bring this down, and as a matter of fact, just to make things, because we've got room here, I'm going to pull this back a little bit so that any damage we do will be a little further down. Okay, so this is the slot. We've already solved this one, but watch what happens when we do all of this. So there's the slot. There's the slot, and that can be a little disorienting because there's really nothing surrounding it which is related to the colors because of the way that the different corners, different edges are attached and unattached in this case. So we got the slot in place, and now we just got to have faith it's all going to work out. And so we have the piece in place, and what's also important is that this is not harmed in any way, right? And so it is possible to move pieces through an already solved section of puzzle. Now, there are times when you will make a chunk come out, but that's also fairly easy to fix. Okay, well, one of the things I did to prevent a chunk from coming out was backing up one step. Now we got to put this this piece in here, and I think that's it. That looks like the color. And I can actually check. It's fairly easy to check, and I will do that right now. And indeed, it is the correct color. So, what are we going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I move it out of the way. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And that's pretty much the whole strategy. So there's where it goes. And if we flip it down this way, then this piece is coming along, and this piece is going to end up over here, which means I want to move this piece in that direction. Okay, so just a little bit of sort of planning out your strategy to get that piece, and there it is. And we'll flip it around, and we've attached it to the piece it belongs to. Now you do have to keep track of these, because as I say, once you start turning these pieces away, you lose track of which face it was originally from, even what color it was. So there we go. That one's solved. So let's just go back and remember that the yellow is kind of our north pole on this puzzle, and we're coming along here, and so the solving is just proceeding here. Now I gotta make sure this one's flipped around, so I'll put that. And that one's good. So, and then these, this one's also flipped around. So I'm just putting everything back. Now you'll see that this sort of thing starts to happen as we saw, where most of the faces it sort of solves itself. We can't really be too attached to that stuff because we are following a pattern, and if we just do it systematically, we're going to solve everything anyway. So this one, we've got it's sort of this orangish red, a reddish orange. I'm not really sure what it is. And we just have a couple pieces to put in. So we have this orangish red and a blue, and then orangish red and a kind of a yellow. Well, there's the orangish red and yellow, so that one's the easiest one to get right now. I'm just going to leave it right there. Okay, it goes right there. I'll flip that around. Look at that. Okay, and that one's done. And just oh, okay, and I've actually put that in the right orientation anyway. All right, just one more to get there. It looks like that's the actual middle there, but we're going to leave that till the end. Okay, so orangish, yellow, and blue. The blue is a little harder for it to stick out. It's and then of course that color is there are a lot of orangish colors on here, so this one might be just a little harder to find. Not impossible, just a little more challenging. There it is right there. It's like literally it would have bit me if it had teeth. Okay. Yeah, so we flip that down and that's gonna go there. Oh, yeah, that's gonna go there. Wait, is that the right one? That isn't the right one. Okay. No, that isn't the right one. No, it's a different orangish red. Go figure. Okay, I take it back. I didn't overlook the piece then. Okay. Yeah, so, and of course, if you see it, yeah, shout out. Did you see it? Okay. That's the, no, that's the one I was just looking at. Okay, that's not it. I'm going to have to put a little piece of tape on that or something. All right, why am I having this? Okay, now, another thing you can do is you can sort of, we kind of know where it would have, which direction it would have gone in. Why am I having this much trouble? Okay. That's fine. It's all part of the game right there. That's got to be it. Yes, that's it right there. So, you know, in my defense, it really flew the coop there. It went quite far. That is the one, right? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, this is part of the game, right? Just... Okay, oh boy. We're going to have to just like plow our way through this entire mess here. But you know what? It'll be fine. So we're going through some solved parts. I really, theoretically, I could probably move it in the other direction. As a matter of fact, I'm going to. Just to show that it could be done. Because I really don't want to. So these basically have two directions you can move them. Usually, but they are in a kind of a fixed orbit. But theoretically, this should also make it back here. And if we don't have to go through already solved faces, then let's not. Okay. So that, and all right, I can see it. We're taking a long way back here. Okay, what have I done? Got some alignment issues here. Okay, there's the piece. There's where it goes. Again, we haven't worked on this yet, but this is how this happens. They sort of start solving themselves, not the faces. Okay, so if I flip this around, it'll put that in place. But because, see, this is already oriented. So if I flip it around, it'll knock it out. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do one extra move here. Not a big deal. That's the slot. And now what this does is it leaves all of these faces in the proper orientation. Right? Leaves that one, and put everything back. All right. Wow, that was quite the epic journey. And there's just that one piece to go. And so I'm going to flip this down. It'll be here, and I really have a choice as to which way I want to move this. I'll just move it over here. This is the piece that's going in. Okay, that's where it goes. Now, when we bring it down, this piece is going to end up over here, which means I want to protect this piece by moving it in the opposite direction. If you get it wrong, you'll notice right away, and you just back everything up. It's not okay. So there's where we're attaching that piece. Looking good. And whoa, looking really good there. Okay, starting to complete this pattern around the yellow face. Last one, and this is going to go pretty fast. I can already see the red and lime green right there, so I'll just immediately just pounce on that. It's a kind of a mid-red. I don't even know what color red that would be. Okay, there's the piece we just put in, and that makes a huge difference. So we're just missing the red and yellow chunk right there. And we'll see where that ended up. Okay, that last, looking for that piece, there it is, right down there. I don't know if I've ever really spent that much time looking for a piece on this puzzle as I did on that blue. That was really kind of strange. Okay, I'm gonna try this way. I don't really know. It's kind of in an awkward spot here. I think we got this. Yeah, so each edge has its own particular orbit, and you could, I don't trace them out, but if you wanted to, you could kind of like use your finger and just kind of hop through the puzzle. Yeah, I think we're gonna go that way. I think that's what's gonna happen here. I think, maybe. Okay, I think it wants to go that way. All right, we'll do it. Yeah, so I don't trace them out on this puzzle, but on other puzzles certainly could do it well. Yeah, I think we're going to end up, yeah, so we kind of got to go through this. That's okay. And so what I'm doing is there's a face that we don't care about right here in between the piece we're trying to put in, and I think that'll be good enough. So we're going to take our piece out. This is the piece, and you'll see what happens. This is the red that we're trying to put in. But you'll notice by now we've gotten to this part, and there's literally nothing left of the original face. So this is where it can sometimes be confusing, because you're putting the piece in and you're going, wait, that doesn't match anything. But it doesn't, because it's not, these other pieces aren't part of your original face. So just something to be kind of on the lookout for. You second guess yourself. You just got to have faith it's all going to work out. So we managed to get through that and didn't hurt that face at all. And one of the reasons is I had that buffer of unsolved stuff there. And I do believe that goes there. So we're going to have to do this whole thing again. Or actually, I could go in this other direction. As a matter of fact, I think I will. Probably be a little bit better. I'm just going to leave it here and move the slot down and kind of see. Yeah, so actually that's perfect. I just left it there. We're attaching it to this piece here, and that's all I have to do is just flip this. Okay. And this is where sometimes just they usually kind of find that the two adjacent faces usually find the right location, and then you just wiggle everything into place. But sometimes like that, I had to do another adjustment. Don't really know why that happens, but you'll see it happen from time to time. All right, well, there we go. And I'm just going to go back here, just this is good practice, and put these ones that I flipped back. There we go. All right. So now we've gone all the way around here, solved all these faces. And actually, when I say solve the face, I only solved half of each irregular hexagon. Now we'll just go around and fill in the other half. Now, if you wanted to do it where you fill in both halves at the same time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and it would be a perfectly fine way of doing it. So we started with the pink. Why not just continue around then with the pink? So or just this kind of part here. So we got the lime green, and so this is oriented correctly, and so we're looking for this blue here. There's one of them. As a matter of fact, this face is upside down. So there we go. So that we got a little bit more of that. So I'm looking for this blue and lime green here, and I'm looking for that blue and purple right there, and that can be where we start. So it's a sort of a, what is it, a mid blue, a navy blue, okay, there's a blue and red. So actually this piece here belongs right here, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. It's fine. So now I'm just gonna see how I can get it up there. And oh yeah, okay, so this is going to go there. That's the slot it goes in, so we'll just line everything up. You see me overshooting a little bit, and that's just these lights are very bright, so I do have a little bit of difficulties seeing that. Okay. There we go. We got that, and looking for some more. So I just need now the blue and lime green, and the blue and purple. Okay, there's the blue and lime green right there. Yeah, you see, this is, I mean, I don't know, that one where I was looking for it for what seemed like an eternity is just, that's an aberration. That really doesn't happen very much. So there's the slot, and we'll turn it down here. Okay, there's the slot, and that's the piece, so I'll just turn it in. And this is another one of those where when we turn it in, there's literally nothing that gives you any context for that piece. You just have to know that's the right piece, and then when you turn it up, everything starts to make more sense. Okay, there we go. Keeping in mind that's where we're working towards. And now I'm looking for the blue and purple. And that's the last one. And that's the sort of thing that I would have thought would be more difficult to find. Not the one we were looking for before. Well, I was looking for and failing miserably at it. Okay. Okay, I believe that's it right there. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's the one. So, yipes. That is going to go through a lot of stuff. So I think I want to try going in this direction. I don't know if it's going to be better, but I don't think it can be worse. So I'm just going to go. I haven't even looked where we're headed, but we got to get, it's got to be better than. And of course, the reason I know that I can move it in either direction is that they're in an orbit. So, yeah, there it is up there. If either direction, if I turn it off, it's going to come to the place where it belongs. Kind of a cool feature of these 180-degree turns. Very simple mechanism. So there's where it goes, and I think we're on the right track here. I'll just flip this down. And then I will flip this whole thing up, and that's the piece. We'll put it in. Look at that. And now it's good practice to just kind of fix up the the faces that I turned down here. There we go. And yeah, I don't have to, I don't have to do every single one of them, but certainly the ones that are close. All right, well, let's take stock here. So I'm looking for this mid blue corner piece, and it can be anywhere. It has a pretty flexible. That's a little light, so I don't think that's it. I think that's the one right there. Yeah, that looks like it. All right, well, I think I just finished moving all those, rotating all those edges to the right orientation, but that's fine. Okay, you see, this is what I'm talking about. So I normally get away with just moving it a little bit and then wiggling everything into place, but sometimes it just kind of throws me a curve like that. All right, so we're pretty close, so I'm just going to leave it there because I want to have some options when I flip it down. So there's the piece we're trying to attach to. If I flip it down here, this piece is going to end up here, which means I want to go in that direction. There we go. So that piece is safely out of the way. And now I'm going to bring the slot down. Okay, this is what we're attaching it to. There's the piece. Everything is just all lined up. And we'll come back. And we'll come back. And this is very satisfying to me anyway, seeing this pattern emerge as we go along. So I'm keeping the yellow at the top to help me remember that I'm going clockwise, counterclockwise, counterclockwise around the puzzle. And just going in that direction. Okay, this one is has a bunch of white pieces, so that's what it's going to be. That's oriented properly. This one is not oriented properly, so that'll help us quite a bit. Okay, now we did take a chunk out, but it's not really not really hard to put it back in. I just hid it away here. And put it back, and then put that back. That was pretty quick. And as a matter of fact, I see this piece which has gold on it, which means it goes right there. And indeed, if I flip this down, this is going to come down here now. Again, we're kind of risking this face. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do it without moving the piece further along. So this piece is going to end up in the face we already solved. And I'll just show you what happens when that happens. So this is the target. Okay, so there's the target. And now I'm just going to flip everything back. So normally I would flip it one more time, but I'm just going to show you what happens when you sort of do it in the middle of a face that's already solved. Okay, so this one's almost done. We got one more piece to put in. And then, so what's happened here is that this chunk got knocked out. And that's basically what happens. You always end up with a chunk. Very, very easy to fix. So what I'll do is I'm going to take any kind of, I call them a sacrificial piece or a garbage piece, and we'll just turn it into place here. Actually, this is the garbage piece that we're looking at. And then I can turn that down, turn this back, and turn this back. Okay, and so now we're in a position where I can actually hide this piece out of the way and turn it down and then put the slot back. So basically the bottom line is you can work this over a face that's already been solved like that, but it always takes out a chunk. Fairly easy to fix. What I will do to avoid that is I will just turn the piece that I'm trying to insert down one more until we're into a section that we don't care about, and that prevents that. So, but it's not a big deal if you forget or if you don't feel like doing it the other way. It's really not a difficult thing to fix. That's what I like about this puzzle. So this is the white that goes up there, and we're looking for a white with a purple. Actually, there's not that many white faces on here. Now, you may wonder about joining this to this, and it is certainly possible. I just don't do it that way just because, but in a case like this where they're really close, it might make sense to just join them up like that. It would be fairly easy in this case. I'll just do it just to show it, but it's just not something I really, I just sort of have a method and I do it that way. So there you go. So I join those, and that's a pretty classic Tuttminx move where you're joining an edge and a corner together. All right, so now we have this combo, and I'm going to bring this down here. I can flip it in, and that actually solves that entire strip right there. And I'm just going to go back now. I'm going to make sure I've got my edges turned properly. Okay, so there, and now this one, and you can see how much of it is correct. As a matter of fact, there's more of it correct than that because this edge is flipped. So we'll flip the edge. Okay, and it took out a chunk, but that's okay because it's very, very easy to fix. Okay, but this is why I want to keep the edges as much as possible, because if you solve it and then you have to flip an edge, you have to redo that chunk. So the only thing to do on this one then is, and what is this? This is a kind of a greenish blue, a bluish green. I don't know. Anyway, it's a bluish green with a. This is a dark silver, dark metallic. I like those metallics on this. And so that's what we're looking for. That's hopefully the dark silver will stick out a little bit. That's a really. There it is right there. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Might be, no, that might be a little darker. Okay, I'm gonna say that's not the one. Okay, definitely not that one. Okay. Wow, boy. Okay, that's it right there. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we can see we sort of have to go through a little bit of already solved puzzle to get there, but it'll be fine. It will be absolutely fine. So there's where it belongs. Now we already have that corner in there. Oh, this is so awkward. All right, well we'll figure something out anyway. And we'll figure it out kind of. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. So there we go. What do I do now? What I'm going to do. This is a slot we're going in. Yeah, there's no, because if I want to save this, preserve it down here, but we've already got stuff there. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip this up, put it in, and we'll just take care of any damage that's done. I think actually at this point I can, let's have a look here. We're going to bring that down, and yeah, I think that we'll find another way to solve that corner. All right, there you go. So the only thing left is the corner. But I want to go back and see what I did over here. Yeah, so I did a wee bit of damage there. Not too bad. I think what I'll do, I'm going to try and get this corner off of here so I can put everything back. Yeah. So basically fix up that white face, and then this corner can actually be okay, just over here somewhere. Okay, there you go. So that corner is in good shape now. How am I gonna do this? Yeah, okay. I'll just put everything back. This happens sometimes. Not really too big of an ordeal. So now this one, of course, now we're over here. Let's see. This is gonna go here and there. So what I'm gonna do is we'll save this by flipping this down here, and then flipping this chunk down here. And because we're in the unsolved part here, I believe that should protect this face that we just absolutely destroyed just now. Okay, so this is a slot we're trying for. There it is. I might have had to do one more turn. I'm not 100% sure. I think we're okay though. Yep, here we go. Okay, it's not going to be super bad anyway, whatever happens. Okay, that's one. Okay, so we got that done. That's fixed. We had to fix that. And then I got to put these blues back. Oh, look at that. Didn't hurt a thing, right? And that's because I went that extra step past. Okay, where were we? What were we even doing? We were doing this, and as I remember, I sent this the middle off this way so that we wouldn't be victimizing this part of the puzzle anymore. So now that I've got it here, I'll just leave it there, and I'll decide how this is gonna play out here. There it is. Oh yeah, this will work. This will work perfectly. So there's the slot. Don't have to really do anything here. Just flip this around and join them up. Awesome. Okay. So that's another one done. That one and that one, and you see that this part's already quite well along. As a matter of fact, if I flip this. Now you may see that this is actually going to be a bit of a nuisance for us. Well, not a nuisance, it's just going to get knocked out anyway. But just two pieces to put in. I see one of them right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay. And again, if I wanted to attach this, you know what? I guess I could. There's probably might as well just do it here. Actually, it's gonna cause problems for the next one too. But anyway, I'll just show you how that's done. So I brought the piece back after hiding this piece out of the way, and then I just flipped it around. So now it's attached. But as I say, on the very next one, we're gonna have to do the same thing, which is probably why I just don't do it that way. Typically, just because it's a pain to keep doing that. You might as well just do it as a separate step at the end. So I'm looking for yellow and pink. Okay. Now I just noticed that this face is turned, so I'm just going to turn it properly. There we go. So this bright yellow and pink. Yeah. There it is. Wow, way down there. Okay. Now, it's here. Okay. This is one of those ones that's not going to be... So if we go that way, we're chomping on that face. And if we go that way, we're chomping on that face. Okay. I think it's okay. I think we can go here and here. So what I'll do... And then here. So what I'll do is I'm going to bring this, which is a face that we're not really using. I'll bring this piece down, and I think that that'll sort of avoid any damage to these intermediate faces. So there's the slot. Okay, now I can put I can put that in there, and hopefully we haven't heard anything. Okay, so there's the slot. Okay, and we'll get everything out of Dodge here. So that's the, and okay, so yeah, I think we're good. Got to put that one back. All right, so what did happen? That chunk got, oh boy, that chunk got waylaid, which is too bad because there's no easy solution to it. That's okay. So I'm going to take this because it's not doing anything. I'm going to put it here, and that will be where we're going to hide this this piece that we want here. So basically all I did was I took this piece from down here. It's just garbage, so it doesn't matter what we do to it. And that will be what we use to sort of facilitate this exchange here. So I put the piece we want in. So now that's fixed back up. This one, actually these ones are okay. You know what? Yeah, I think we're good. Because this one's good, and I don't think we heard anything else. All right, well, let's just go take stock. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one we're working on right now, correct? Yeah. Okay, so that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Yeah, so, oh. All right, well, oh, no, we haven't done that one yet. Right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Well, we'll fix it up when we get back there. All right. Well, anyway, this, we're just looking for that last little chunk, and there it is right there. Okay, so I'm going to bring that here. I want to put a piece right there, which will knock out that this one. So I'm just going to hide this over here. I think this will work. Yep. Okay. Okay, we'll put, that's the piece we're putting in, and the little chunk that we hid away over there. Not too bad. Maybe I'll start doing it that way full time. Who knows? It's always something new to learn here. Okay, so there we go. So we got that, we got that, we got that. And I don't know if this is where we started. I think we started with the pink. So, yeah, so maybe, I think this is okay. Maybe we didn't actually mangle this, or maybe we did. I don't know. I'd like to think we, oops. Okay, I'm gonna put that back. I'm gonna flip this edge first, because I think that'll get us the most impact here. So it puts that piece in. Puts that piece in. There we go. All right, so not too bad. We're just missing a little bit of the middle here. I can see one of them already, and we don't have to worry about running over anything. Okay, that was pretty fast. And there's another one that goes right there, and you're going to actually see this as we proceed. It's usually not very hard to find pieces anyway, but any little problems I've been having will be, you'll see that it gets easier and easier. Okay. There's that one, and I think I see the corner that we're looking for just down the bottom there. We'll take a look. All right, and that's all that's missing from that is the corner, which I think is right there. So that's the slot. Now, if I go down that way, it's going to want to go that way. So I'm going to move the corner. Okay, and so I've hidden the corner out of the way, because when I turn this down, that's the piece we're attaching to. And so we want to come in from the opposite direction. There we go. And okay, I think that's a pretty good chunk there. So let's take stock. Started with the yellow up top here. Did those two, did those two, did those two, did those two, did those two. Very good. So that's actually the entire top half or north pole of the puzzle. Now basically the strategy is going to be to flip it over and then just work our way down and do the other half. I think this would be a good time to take a break, right? Can't sit too long, so we'll take a little break, and when we come back, we will basically start with the solving of the irregular hexagons on the south pole of the puzzle, on the orange, starting around the orange face. All right, we're back, and that was a nice little break, and time to continue the first step of the solve of the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. We have all of the irregular hexagons on the yellow side of the puzzle solved, and now it's time to go and solve all of the irregular hexagons on the orange side. Now this part of it will go quite a bit quicker just because the pieces are much closer, and I'm going to go all the way around. There may be an algorithm needed at the very end of this step. If there is, I'll show it, but even if there isn't, I'm actually going to show it just so that you'll have that just in case it does crop up on your solve. I don't have a probability for that, the requirement for the algorithm at this time, but yeah, so I really can't say how often it happens. All right, well let's go. So our landmark is the orange, and we just go around and solve all of those faces. So the first bit will be just to do the bit kind of in between. Well, we could do that, or we could go up. It doesn't, you know what, it really doesn't matter. I'll go. Which way are we going to do it? You know what, I think I'm just going to do this way. So this is my orange, so I'm just going to put it sideways, and I'll just kind of go this way just to simplify things, I guess. So we'll start with the purple, and I can see I have the piece that goes there, and I'm looking for purple and silver and purple and blue. So there's purple and silver right there. Yeah, so always nice to take a little break when I've been puzzling for a while. I always like to do that. I actually went out and I got myself a Timmy's, Tim Hortons coffee, one of our coffee chains here in Canada. And just nice to just kind of get up and move around. Now this one I've got it flipped around this edge. So I'm going to put it back, or edge face. I just want to keep everything as much as possible because it gets a little tight right at the end here. So I'm just looking for the other purple, dark purple. And again, we only have to look on the top half of the puzzle now. So it should be, and there it is. So that's, yeah, purple and blue. Okay, and we can sort of go straight up if possible. We'll see how that works. No, I guess I can't. Okay, I'm kind of limited to going either that way because it's on a phase, or that way. Neither of them is a very good choice, but this way is actually closer. And even though this is a solved face, this isn't. So I think once I flip this, I'll be okay here. Again, I've shown you on the other side just that it's not as big an ordeal as you might think to fix it. So there we go. You just got to remember to put that face back, and I will bring this piece here, and let's see now. Yeah, I think this will work quite well. I don't think we're going to do much damage, if any, to that other face. So there's where it goes. Just got to keep track of that. Okay, there we go. and put that back, whoop, and put that back. Remember, we're doing the little corner last. Now let's go back and see about fixing this up. And okay, so that wasn't solved. It was this one that was solved, but I think we got away with it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That, and then this one wasn't actually solved yet. So, all right, not bad at all. So purple, we did have that purple corner there somewhere. And there it is right there. So let's go ahead and put that in. This should be old hat by now. Old hat. Why do they say that? Anyway. So I'm going to bring this down. And so the piece we want to protect is going to be here. So we want to go this way. Okay, yeah. I was asked a few times as I was, in the lead up to making this video about how to solve those little triangles. And, I think it's a lot easier to show than it is to actually write up a description. I don't even know how I describe that. It's just kind of a technique. But there you go. All right. So there's the purple, and let's get oriented again, because so it's the orange right there, and what we're doing then is we're just kind of going around. I think it would probably make sense to, well, let's just go across, and I'll just keep doing that as we go around. I think that'll be good for now. So this next one is all the purple ones, these light purples. There's one right there which goes, oh, perfect. So I'll just see if I can, keeping in mind that because we're going this way, anything below is fair game. It's not been solved yet. And I just noticed that this piece is was misoriented, or this face, so I'll have to fix that. Okay, there we go. Put that one in. Okay, good. And then I'll put this back in its proper orientation. It was wrong when I started there. So I have one more, and it's right there, so we can so this is good. This hasn't been solved yet, and that's really the whole idea of picking a strategy of what you're going to solve first, and sort of being following that plan. You'll always know what you haven't solved and what you have, and it'll hopefully leave room to work on it, because that's the big thing here, running out of room, and then you just sort of have to, it can be really hard to solve the last few phases if you run out of room. Okay, so this is this light purple, and we're looking for that corner. Now, theoretically, we could just save the corners right to the end, these little tiny corners, because I do have an algorithm for it, but I think it makes sense to just try and solve as many of them without the algorithm as possible. Okay, whoops, just there we go. All right, I'm going to bring this down now. That's the slot. And when we bring it down, it's going to be here. This piece is going to be here, so we want to go this way. Okay, there we are. And put that in. Yeah. This is so relaxing, this is my favorite thing to do, a weekend afternoon or on a holiday or something like that. I just really enjoy relaxing with a big, juicy puzzle. Okay, that maybe I shouldn't call it big, juicy puzzle, but anyway, you get the idea, right? I just want to sit down and just sink my teeth into okay, I don't want to sink my teeth into a puzzle. I don't know why. Okay, now maybe I need to have something to eat or something. So we got these two done, and we're going, you see how much faster this is going, right? Even with me kind of goofing around a little bit, it is going much, much faster. So these are the colors here. It's kind of a light blue, yeah. So the center is there. So there's only two pieces missing. There's one that has a dark olive green, and then one has a pink. So And they can't be too far away. Okay. Okay, there's the pink, there's the olive green. Wow, they're both way over there. Did I say they can't be too far away? All right. All right, well, let's just try to get this. Okay, there's that. And so the pink, so that's the one that's coming up here. I'll just bring the slot down to meet it. And so it's right there. And there's the slot still there. And the nice thing is that when I flip this, it's gonna put this edge will be correct. There's the slot. And there we go. Okay, so that's back. And now I'll just go and do the same thing for the other one, which was right down there. There it is. Now this one's going to be a bit more complicated because I only have two ways. I can move it that way, or I can move it that way. That's actually not... Yeah, it's not terrible because we do have this spot here. We've been down this road before, so I think it'll be fine. So, okay, that one. And then I think if I leave that there, that'll probably be the most flexible. Okay, so we're there. And bring this down here. Okay, put the piece in. And you see we have nothing of that original face right now, but that's okay, right? We'll be moving it back. Okay, so there's the piece back. Okay, so there's that. So we're almost done there. That one didn't get hurt. And now let's go back to our white here and see. And I think part of the issue here is just figuring out what order to undo it, and you gotta reverse it, right? So that's the last turn we did, and that was the earlier turn. And as you see, absolutely no damage to anything here. That was already trashed, and if anything, we probably left it in better shape. I'm looking at this, and I see this edges. There we go. Yeah, so that wasn't solved yet at all. All right, well, let's get back to the matter at hand. And so oh boy, I think this is the color right here. So I'll give it a try. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna leave it here because that'll be the most flexible. And there we go. Okay, and unfortunately, we came in on the wrong side here. I want to preserve that. But all's not lost. I don't have to undo that and then flip that one. For the same number of turns, I can just, because this is not being used, or it's not been solved yet, I'll put the piece down here, and then we'll be good. Oh, I think okay, I think I tried to be a little too clever there. Actually, I need to go that way. Okay, yeah, that happens. Oh, look at that. We solved that one. Okay, yeah, because the piece we're trying to preserve is right there, and so we had to go in the opposite direction. There you go, all done. And now we just unwind everything. And okay, gotta have faith because it can look really terrible as you're going back through it. So now that one's done. So this is great. Okay, so what we're doing these strips or stripes or strips. We're doing the whole face. This is the irregular hexagon, and this is its whole face right here, including its edges. So we got to do this one next. Okay, it's all coming together though. So this one's correctly oriented, so we're just missing a couple of green. There's one which goes over there. Easy enough. Let's just go get that. Actually, I can't get that. It's actually on, yeah, it's on this face. Okay, no problem. We'll come down this way and, you know, whatever. We'll fix anything that breaks as a result of this. So this is the piece we're replacing. And, wow, that's going to go over there. Okay, I don't necessarily want to do it that way. All right, this is a little more complicated. The piece is there, and we probably, yeah, it's there, there, there. Yipes, there. Okay, this isn't really... Okay, so how did that piece end there? Sometimes they do, right? They could just sort of go for a real... sort of take the long way around. Okay, so I'm just checking the orbits now because this is really quite unprecedented. Maybe, maybe not. And okay, I must have done something wrong there, because it shouldn't be like that. That one goes there and there. What? Why am I having so much trouble? I don't know. All right, I'm just, yeah, I don't know what I was doing right there. Okay, there we are. Or was it the pink one? No, okay, I don't know. I got off track. Off track. It sometimes happens. That's really what the game is when you have a puzzle like this, right? It's, can you keep your head in the game, not lose track of stuff? So there's the other part of it, which is actually, oh, okay. No, it has the corner. So what I'd rather do then is solve the other one, which has pink on it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there it is. So when I was looking at that earlier, you notice that one of the things is, because I know the puzzle reasonably well, you know, if it seems wrong, you know, that's where I want to go back and check, right? Because you should be able to always find a path for your piece through this maze. Okay, if I bring this down, we're not going to hurt anything here because that's not been solved yet. So that'll be it. But yeah, this is you know, your focus and concentration for the big puzzles, as I was talking about, Aton's Star, and those very complex puzzles where you have very complicated strategies to solve, very long algorithms, setup moves as they're called. So that really tests your focus and your concentration, and in some cases, you know, if the phone rings in the middle of it, or just, you know, some little distraction, you know, you can really set you back a lot. The nice thing about this is, yeah, you just have to look at where you're at, and you'll be able to pick it right back up. So I like those big complex puzzles, but they're not for every single day, right? Not when we're busy and we got a lot to do. Okay, so that one's done now. Okay, so that one's already done for us. Just solved itself, and that happens. And so now this one here, the pink, and we're looking for pink and brown and pink and silver. So there's pink and silver. It also has the corner attached. So let's find the pink and brown first. Put that one in first. Now, shouldn't have to look far. We're really getting down to the very end here. Okay, this isn't going to be another one of those. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm good. Now this looks bad, but again, we have an out there where we can go through this, and it is in the right direction. Okay, I'm just going to move this up just a little closer to the target. There we go. So pink and brown it is. That's the slot right up here. I guess I should make sure it's on camera. So that's the slot. And it should be no surprise that we're actually starting to solve some of these as well, just because there's so few pieces left. Okay, and those back and put that back. And I don't think we heard anything, but I'll just go check anyway. Okay, so just one more piece and we know where that is. That one's still good. I'll put this back, and we haven't solved this yet, but you see that it's really starting to get kind of cohesive there. Okay, well, I had to go back and solve a lot of these. Good thing is there's our pole, or kind of our landmark, and we just got to put this one in. So there we go. And this might do, I think this will be all right. There might be a little bit of, all right. So, okay, so that one's done. And now we want to fix this, but actually, okay, so this one's our next one. We just have to flip this and then put that one back. So it's actually not going to be a particularly difficult one to solve. There you go, that's one. And now I got to somehow find, we haven't really solved that one yet. I forget where we started on here, but anyway, it wasn't there. So, let's see, I need something to put in there. Yipes, I'm out of room. Okay, well, anyway, just for now, we'll put that in there because I want to just be systematic about this. Okay, so there's the piece. We'll flip this around. Okay, and then we'll put the piece in. Okay, and we'll put it back. There we go. Okay, so now that's done, and now we can move on to this, which was pretty close to being solved. I see that piece there. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna solve this one because we're so close to solving it. Okay, and it's going to knock out the corner, but that's okay. And that's something that we may just kind of let go in these last few faces. We'll see. All right, and then this right here. And again, so this is solved except for the corner. That's solved except for the corner. And I think that's what we might find for these last few faces, and that's perfectly fine. And that's another one that's solved except for the corner. And that went very, very quickly, those last few faces on the irregular hexagons. Okay, so this is pretty typical. I've had it just solve and have no problems, but also I've had it with the where you have 3 corners that need to be cycled, and it works fine. I'll show you the configuration that we need for these corners, but I believe that it's easy enough just to, like, you can temporarily turn a face to move the corners wherever you need them. The fact is that it doesn't it doesn't hurt any other, it doesn't move any other pieces other than the corners. All right, so the algorithm then works. Yeah, we might have to, let me sort of see. I'm just trying to find the right organization for this. Yeah, we might have to flip this face. Okay, so the algorithm I have moves 3 corners counterclockwise. And so if you need to move them clockwise, you just do the algorithm twice. That's just the way it goes. And it moves the corner from, yeah, so it moves corners on each end like that. And it moves one over here. So from here to here to here. So in this case, because the one we need to move is down here, we have to do what's known as a setup move, which is just to move the piece we need into place. Okay, so I'm just going to flip this face over here with the brown, And we'll just remember to put that back, and that'll be easy to do. So we're going to go from here to here, which will solve that, there to there, which will solve that, and there to there, which will solve that. Pretty slick, right? So here's the algorithm to move these small triangles around, and it doesn't hurt anything else on the puzzle. And it's a very simple algorithm. It's been used quite a bit. If you're familiar with the Rubik's Cube, it's the up, up, down, down algorithm. We're basically going to do that. So it starts out with a right, and these are all 180-degree turns. They have to be because they're they're hex faces. So it's all it is it's right, left, right, left. Okay, so now we've done that, and then this is called the D, and we just flip the D. Okay, and now we just have to undo everything we just did, starting with the left. So we'll go left, right. Whoa, just got to line it up. Left, right, and then we have to undo the D move that we did. Okay, so it's very should be fairly easy to remember. Write it out. And you see what we did. Our brown is now where the brown belongs, the gray is where the gray belongs, the yellow is where the yellow belongs, and we just have to now go back and undo our setup move, which was to put the brown up here in the right position. All right. So that is the small triangle 3-cycle counterclockwise. What you need is you have one irregular hexagon up and down, and then you use the two other ones, and it goes from there to there to there to there. Okay, piece of cake. And that is the Rhombic Tuttminx 66, the first step. And I think this makes it look so cool. We basically, I hope now that it's clear why I said it's like two different puzzles. We literally solved half of the puzzle, and the other half isn't even touched, right? And that's the cool thing about this puzzle. So let's take another break, and it doesn't hurt to look over the puzzle here and make sure that we have all the edges correct. But let's take a break, and when we come back, then we can start working on these regular hexagon edges. And it's a whole different technique, it's a whole different style, but it's probably just as much fun, maybe even more fun than working on the irregular hexagons. All right, we're back from a nice little break and ready to continue solving the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. So the first step was solving all of the irregular hexagons, and we've done that, and we pretty much ignored the regular hexagons up until now. So the next step of the solve, step 2, if you're following along, is to solve the first 10 of the 12 regular hexagons. So we're going to solve 10 of them. We're going to leave the last 2 and do that as a step 3 because it has to be done a little differently. As usual, I'm going to start with the yellow face, and we'll solve the yellow hexagon and then the 5 hexagons around it. Now, that does seem like a very odd configuration for a hexagon face to actually have only 5, not 6, but it's because this is a special face, and the actual base puzzle has a pentagon here, so it does make sense that there's 5. Anyway, we'll solve these 6 faces, and then flip it over. We'll solve 4 more, and then we'll have a special treatment, another step for the last 2 faces. Now, the whole strategy for solving the regular hexagon faces is to keep track of the pattern on the carbon fiber stickers. The pattern goes across in stripes, or at least That's how I like to line up the pattern. It may be very difficult to see on this yellow face. It may be a bit more obvious on the darker faces, like the purple here. Okay. And especially with the bright video lights on this, but I can see the pattern well enough. Part of my strategy to be able to see the lighter colors better, I have a lamp which is kind of right here, and it's kind of shining straight across the surface of my puzzle. It's relatively a low powered reading lamp, and I usually use that anyway. Just it's a little easier when I don't have the really bright video lights, but hey, you got to see too. So this is where we're at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fact that this has the horizontal stripes on it, and I'm going to place the edges, because the edge below the horizontal stripes and above are also going to have horizontal stripes on them. Okay, so that's my first piece to put in. So this one has the horizontal stripes, and so I'll just line it up. Now here's where things get a little tricky. If I just flip this up, I'm gonna make this face in the wrong orientation. So I want to try as much as possible and avoid that. And it usually doesn't do a lot of harm if you're rotating these faces. The main risk of messing up what we've already done is when you turn two faces that are perpendicular. So one here and one here. So if the faces are perpendicular, you'll actually stir these pieces up. Not a huge thing to fix, but it can be a little demoralizing when you look down at your puzzle and you see a whole bunch of pieces knocked out. So for the most part, try to put everything back immediately after you use it. When you're flipping pieces back and forth. Again, this is going to become second nature. I know it sounds daunting, but it will be second nature. So my strategy then, this is the horizontal pattern. This is horizontal, so I'm going to find the other edge that has horizontal stripes on it. There it is right there. And I'm gonna shuffle it up. So just like we had with the first part of the solve, when we're doing the yellow face, there'll be a lot of shuffling back and forth of pieces because pieces are all over the puzzle. Once we flip it over and we do the other half, it will be much quicker because everything will be just within that half. So there's the very first step. I have my horizontal pieces. Now, if I was on the ball, I could probably figure out where the what the pattern is for these side ones, for the side edges, but I find it difficult, especially because when they're here and the stripes are going in a certain direction. I guess in this case they'd be going that way. When you flip it over, they're going in the opposite direction, and that's where you're matching up here. So the bottom line is, I don't do it that way. I use a kind of a trial and error method, which is probably not nearly as good as just trying to work it out with the pattern, but it works for me. So basically what I'm going to say is that my method isn't very efficient, but I find it fun. So what I just did here was I had a yellow piece there, and I kind of looked at it and it looked like it might fit in the corner, and indeed it did, so I went and put it in. Okay, and that's pretty much my whole other strategy, is try to match up these pieces with their corresponding edges. Now, if I want to test this against this, I have to put it on the opposite side, and then I just flip it up, and then I can see if it fits. And it definitely doesn't fit, so that's not good. But I can try this one as well, and that one does fit, so we'll just keep that. And since I didn't really hurt anything there, but I might as well just put that edge back. We're trying to keep them as close as we can. So now that one's all nicely fitted together. And just to see, no, okay, that's not going to work. Actually, I want to see if this fits over here. Now, I'm just going to do that. You'll get lots and lots of examples. Now that doesn't fit at all, so it's clearly not the right piece there. There's a couple more here. Now these look like they are joined together, but they're not. They've just been sort of accidentally joined. So that's something to kind of watch out for as you're organizing your pieces. If you see two pieces together, make sure that they belong. If not, you can just you can take them apart like I've just done. And now I will use this, and I'm going to see if I can make this one fit. And again, if I was, if my vision, my eyesight was better, I would actually look at this and actually just try to decide before I turn it if it fits. But this is efficient for me, right? By the way, it does fit. And I'll see if I can bring it up here. See, it sort of fits together. Much more obvious, I think, in person than maybe on the video. In person and up front, live, I don't know. Okay, so I need a few more pieces and a few more corners to make all this go together here. So I'm going to bring this one up. And in order to get it, actually, yeah, this is not too bad. I'm going to see if I can get this one to fit with some of these other edges that are here. It just makes sense to have them joined together. Okay, that one's not going. And as a matter of fact, I think I know where this one was going to go. Oh no, okay, that one goes. So that's kind of nice. Now, we got to be careful because I flipped this around. So I'm using a edge that isn't solved yet to account for that. So at this point, I can actually quickly check to see if maybe this edge belongs in here, which can be the case. Yes, it does. So that is correct. Now I've got a problem because this edge is flipped around. So there's a few ways, and you'll see a few different techniques I use to deal with that. That's one of them. You see that this is kind of coming along quite nicely, and that's pretty much my whole strategy. As we get at the end, there's a few little tricky bits to work out, or well, I use some what I would consider to be a bit tricky techniques I've kind of gotten. Okay, so that one's not correct. I could try it on this other side. And indeed, that is correct right there. So again, I'm going to move a piece that I don't care about, or an edge that I don't care about. So that one's done. And now, okay, let's see if that fits together. Indeed, that fits together. Very nice. And I might as well just bring this edge up here because we're kind of getting to a point where it's obvious that this one has to go there. And then the other edges, you'll see where they belong. So, there's always a chance I've made a mistake, so I'm not gonna just slap it in. I will check, but it's the only place for a strip of 3. And indeed, there's the horizontal pattern, and everything fits together. Okay, well, this is kind of cool because of the symmetry of this, these two edges should be identical, right? Because if the horizontal edges are identical, then those ones should be identical, and those ones should be identical as well, right? So let's see what I have here. I have this, and there should be another one here somewhere. There it is over there. All right. Now, here's a basic rule of these hex faces. And the rule is you can't put an edge in between two corners without taking these strips out. So what my way of doing it is if I'm putting this edge here, the strip to the right, I put it on the face to the right. And the strip to the left, I put on the face to the left. That way, when I put it back, I'm not getting mixed up. Okay? And now I have the piece that I want to put in. We've just taken that one out, so it goes there. So that piece belongs there. And now I can put this in. Now I'm going to be strategic here because I want to end up with this face flipped back around. And I've done this enough times that I know if I go ahead and do it this way, it'll be upside down because we already have a yellow here. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip this face one more time, and you'll see that this actually works out. So that was the piece to the right. And now I'll bring this over here. And now these yellow and yellow match, and that was the piece to the left. Okay, so that solved that whole thing. And if we look at the pattern, you can see it's just all nice and smooth. It really does stand out when you're looking at it, especially from a distance. All right, well, we did that. Well, we got this one more edge here, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So I talked through it the first time, sort of made it seem maybe like it's longer than it actually takes. So the piece to the right of the edge goes to the right, and the piece to the left goes to the left. Now that only works if there's nothing else on the face that you're trying to shave. And usually this is the last step anyway, so if not. Okay, and then I put the piece I'm putting in, which goes there. Okay, now I'll put the piece to the right. Because the yellow's down, I'm going to flip this edge that we don't care about down before I put the piece in place. And that sets up this face. Okay. Okay. And sets up the face to be in the proper rotation when I'm done. Now, I put that piece in, and that piece in. So, of course, I'm going to just quickly check and make sure it's correct. And there you go. The very first regular hexagon face solved on the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. So that gets a little easier as we go around. I'm going to go counterclockwise around here. We'll be getting our pieces from below and from in this direction. Let's start with one. I'm just gonna maybe I'll do the purple because that should be more visible, the pattern. And basically it's just exactly the same thing. So I have the stripe here. This one's already set up for me, so I don't have to do that. And now I'm looking for the other horizontal edge to put in there. And of course it can be anywhere on the puzzle. There it is right there. Okay, that's not so bad. So I'm going to keep it off. And turn that down. And then we'll turn that up. Now, there's one potential source of confusion here. These edges may or may not be correct. And I'd rather not have them in there just to start, because I don't want to, lose track of the fact that they're not really solved edges. So there you go. So I just cleared those out of there. If you have a really good memory for this sort of thing, you might not have to do that. So there we go. We have the two horizontal pieces. We have a bunch of edges. And now the strategy is just to go find purple corners, these ones, and try to fit them together with various with the various edges that we find. That's basically it. Try to make little strips. So that's not correct. Now this one, because of the way it ended up there, I think that it probably could be a viable one side or the other for that. So I'm just going to go up and try that. Now, in order to test here, it has to be opposite because that's 180 degrees. And indeed, that was correct. And I'm just going to move this just a little bit and then flip this down to keep that in the right orientation. So there you go. There's so many ways to play this part of the game that you can, I'm sure, come up with your own strategies and routines for it. This is I just love this. So this matched, and it's not a surprise because by the time we eliminate these two, there aren't that many edges, and each corner will match one of the remaining edges on one side or the other if they're not matching there. So it's not a surprise to get matches like that. Okay, some more. Wow, we have a whole lot more of these corners, so I'm just going to put them up on this face. Turn this away here. Yeah, so I just moved up a bunch, and might as well try the easier one first. Okay, that didn't work. Can try that one, and that did work. So yeah, and it's again not a surprise that it's so easy to find matches. Oh, I accidentally moved that one down. So all right, so I can try this one. Nope, that didn't work. So what I'll do is I'll try it on the other side, which is basically, this is an equivalent of rotating the corner. That's probably the way we do it, and in fact that worked, so we're good. All right, so, and then a few more of these here. Okay, I haven't tried this one yet, so I'll see if this one will actually go there, and I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. There you go. So now that one's correct, and this is the horizontal piece. Now, one of the things that I count on these puzzles is the fact that this that there is horizontal symmetry on these carbon fiber textures, and I haven't found any reason to doubt that. It seems so. That means that this strip and this strip can be considered equivalent, and it's really good to know if you need to, say, flip one of these phases or something. You can 3-cycle the horizontal strips between each other, and you can flip one of these around. I guess I'll probably end up demonstrating that at some point, but it's good to have that kind of technique. All right, we need some more purple. Okay, okay, there's a couple pieces. Now these have not been joined by me, so I'm just gonna break them up myself. There we go. Okay, so I guess it's kind of probably productive, and I think, you see, because this is horizontal this way, and when I flip it up, I think it's going to join up here. And indeed, it is correct. So, and I got that oriented correctly. Very good. So,
just a sec.
Okay, I don't know why Siri thinks that I was talking to her, but
Stand by, please. I didn't catch that.
Just a sec. All right, well, we had to go see what Siri wanted there. Oh boy, brave new world. So where can these go? These ones can actually go here. That makes sense. Where they can't go is this way, because this side is already attached to that edge, right? It sort of makes sense. Okay, it definitely doesn't go there though. So one of the things I can do, we want to see if maybe it goes there, right? Because if I flip it up, it could go there. And the only easy way to check it, well, the easy way to check it is to bring this down and see if this fits there. And if it does, then we'll know. And indeed, it does fit. Okay, so now we know that these two pieces go right there. Well, the rules for installing an edge, even when it has a corner on it, are still the same. I can't put an edge in with a corner adjacent to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down. Now I'm bringing it down to the left. In this case, it's not as important because it's only one, so it's little harder to get mixed up. But anyway, so now I put this one in, I bring this back, and I bring this down so that everything works out rotation wise. And there we go. So these are all put together. Okay. So it's not as the daunting ordeal that it might seem at first. I find this really fun. So I'm going to see if these two will fit up here. And it's not a surprise that it does fit. So now I've kind of made a bit of an issue for myself. So I'm going to back that out. And what I'll do is I'm just going to flip this these unsolved pieces, and then I can go and flip it, and now everything's correct. All right, well, we know that this strip has to go there because it can't go there. So we have to do this little trick. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, something didn't quite work that way. Huh. What am I missing? Oh. Okay, something not quite right there. All right, well, let me just kind of... Actually... Yeah. Okay. It's probably correct. I just, you know what it is? I'm going to bring this one down and see if it matches up. And if it does, no, it doesn't. Okay, well, that's kind of... Okay, I think I know what's happened here. So what can happen, there are equivalent pieces. So if this one matches that, then that may be what we're dealing with. Yeah. Okay, so that indeed. So what happened was, I don't know why that didn't work. Anyway, the point is that these two pieces can go right there, and it'll be fine. We're not going to hurt anything. But I got to take both of these out. So in other words, even though this does match, it actually belongs over here. So why don't I just put it over there? Yeah, I think that might be the right answer. Okay, so I got to get this strip out of the way first. This is going to be a little bit complicated, but it's fine. And now I can go and put this piece over here. There we go. And now I can put this one back. Except that, oh yeah, okay. Except that I don't really need to. Well, I will just to kind of make the point. Okay, because now this edge fits in between these two pieces. And I will have to do my little technique here for putting that edge in. And then there'll only be one more edge to install anyway. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's done. And now this is where the edge goes. And let's be strategic about this. Well, I'll put the edge in first. And now we'll be strategic and bring this down. That one fits. It does. And then that one fits. So I was kind of... Oh. All right, I don't know. I guess I wasn't strategic enough. I probably didn't do that as efficiently as I could, but well, whatever. We got one more, and let's just find it here somewhere. Oh boy. One, there it is. Okay. So, same thing as we've done a few times now. I'll put the right one on the right. The left one on the left. Okay, I'll put the edge in, and turn down a blank. And there we go. So these first few are, of course, going to take the longest, but then once we get down to the rhythm, it'll be fine. And just a quick check, because this is the easiest time. But I hope you'll agree now that purple is a lot easier to see the pattern, and it would be so obvious if one of those was wrong. So there we go. Yellow, purple, and now dark brown, and time to yeah, just gonna go straight around. Okay, so the brown, and first step going to be to make it horizontal and then find the horizontal edges. Okay. Now, as we get going in this, it is worth, after you finish a face, to look around and make sure that one of the irregular hexagons isn't turned, and if it is, fix it. Sort of a good, kind of a good practice there. Okay, so there's the other horizontal edge. All right. Okay, and I've got quite a few brown corners around here. There's a few more here. I will actually just to kind of try to be a little more efficient, I will bring some of them up here. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so I gathered some of them, and they don't all have to be on one face as long as it's adjacent to the face we're working on. So there's quite a few, actually, a few edges and corners, so I'll just get those as well. What I'll do, I think I'll get this edge, and since I'm here, I'll just see if any of these corners will fit with that edge, just to kind of get things going here. No, that's not it for sure. That is correct, though. Very good. Okay, so based on what I saw there, I think I might try this one with one of the horizontal edges up here. And indeed, that is correct. Okay, very good. Okay, let's see if that's gonna go. Nope, it's definitely not correct, but could be this way though. Nope. All right, well, okay, well, fifth time's the charm, or however many times that took. Oops. And just trying to match them up. It gets easier though. There you go. See that one? Reduce the number of possibilities. Okay, so it doesn't fit there. So once we're sort of confident that we've tried all those, then this is maybe just a bit more productive to try the other ones, because we know just based on, yeah, that fits. Because once we eliminate those two, then we know it's got to fit on the other edges on one side or the other. It's just kind of the way it works. So with this, I'd actually like to see if it fits over here, just kind of curiosity here, and that would be a nice big chunk. And indeed, it does fit. Okay, so I got to put this, oops, okay, well, I kind of painted myself into a corner there. Okay, so just going to turn down an unsolved section and then bring it back. There we go. And doing something like that really helps because we know pretty much what's left, and makes it much easier to put it all together, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So I can actually, so it's this part, these two pieces, oh, these aren't even joined together. Okay, that sucks. Okay, that's better. So we know that's not where it goes, but how about here? Nope. Maybe there. Yep. Very good. So based on this, well, maybe that's not going to work. I just see if these ones go together. Actually, they do. Look at that. That's kind of interesting. That doesn't really help us because I can't put that in, but it does tell me that those strips go right there. So, yeah. So let's figure this out then. This one, when we turn it up, the edge has to go there. So I believe that it has to go there. And the way I can check that is to bring this one down and see. And indeed, it is correct. Okay, so all I have to do then is get this one out of the way, and then I can put these two pieces over here. So I'll just get this one out of the way to the left. Not the usual way I do it, but when there's only one, then it's probably not so bad. So now I put that there. I'll bring this down. And then this one can go up. Okay, very nice. And then we're left with two edges that go in. Because they're on opposite sides, we know that either one will go in either spot. So here we go. Edge to the right. Edge to the left. Okay, put the middle back. Okay, all nicely done except for one brown edge. Okay, gotta be here somewhere. All right. Oh boy, there it is. Always the last place you look. Okay, and I realize I just broke up a little section there, but you know what? We haven't solved those yet. We don't care about them. It can really slow you down if you try to preserve little random sections. Okay, so that's our target. Okay, I'm gonna bring this, bring that one down. Bring that one down. Okay, that lines up, and then this one should line up. No problem. Whoa. And there we go, brown face. Done. Okay. Yellow, purple, brown. And now we're on to the olive green. Is that what it is? So there's the olive green horizontal. The horizontal piece is already there, and in fact, this other edge is the other horizontal edge. So you can actually make short work of this. Now, I didn't mean for that corner to get in there, so I'm going to go and, geez, there's another one there too. Okay, so I got that one out. Oh, those joined together. What a... Anyway, all right. So that's the beginning of this part of the solve. Now, I'm just going to test this corner. Indeed, it does belong there. And I'm pretty sure if you have a better sense of kind of spatial orientation than I do, you might actually do, maybe do a little better with this sort of thing, just be a little more efficient than I am. As you see, I'm kind of not that efficient. All right, well, we tried. So those two, I'm not quite sure where they go. These two don't belong with each other, so I'm just going to turn this one down and just peel that one off. There we go. And I can try, I'll try it on the other side of that edge, just because I'm right here. And that still doesn't go. That really tells me that it belongs to one of these. Yeah, that's where it belongs. Okay. And so that one, got to get a few more of these olive. There we go. There's a bunch more of these olive pieces. Olive green. Okay, and again, that piece is, this piece doesn't belong attached to that edge, so I'm just going to see if I can find a home for it on this one. Yep, that worked. Okay, and then there's still that one there, but well, maybe. I think it'll be okay. I just don't want to get too many pieces on that face, but I think we're good. All right, so this whole strip is kind of promising. Let's see if I can get something else attached over here. Nope. All right, last chance. Actually, this might be it. Yep, that was good. So we have a whole complete strip, and the only place I can see putting a whole strip is right there. So maybe let's give it a try here. That might oh, perfect. Very good to see. Now I've kind of got myself a little stuck here, so I'll just put that one. Now we can put that strip in. There we go. Okay, not too bad. Now this edge here, it's either going to go here or one of those places. So I'm just going to check to see if it goes there by bringing this corner down. And it does go there. So I can put that edge in using the technique, the right. Left. Okay. Okay, and just a few more pieces for that face. Okay, and now this one, I'm not really sure. It's got to go attached to one of these two. As a matter of fact, that one actually has to be there. So that's kind of a cool thing, which means this one has to be there. And yeah, I think we got this. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to see if I can make a strip. No, actually, it doesn't really matter. All right, well, let me see where this piece goes. No, it can't be that. And it can only be there. So if I swing this down and it fits, then it goes there. So let's have a look. No, it doesn't fit, which means that it goes over here. But let's test it. So I have to test it on this side. Just double check here. Indeed, that fits. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm just going to turn this a bit. There's the strip that we're saving. Put this one up. Okay, and then we'll come down here and catch this one. And then we're almost on this face. Just a couple more pieces. That one, and I need one more edge. There it is. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it was correct to put them on the same face, because I think I need to join them. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, well, I think it's pretty obvious that this piece goes there. So what I think I'll do, now this is where you got to be real careful. Remember I said we don't want to be turning perpendicular, faces perpendicular, the irregular pentagon, hexagon faces. Okay, so that's correct. So basically all I did was I assembled that one strip. Now I have this out already. It's kind of, this goes there. I could put it back and then bring it down, but I think it should be pretty obvious what I'm doing now. I got to put this piece right here, and then we got to preserve this as well, and then go get the other one. So I think it'll be fine, except I don't know what I just did. Why did that? Oh, I know why. Okay, that's got to go there. Then this will go there. There you go. So that's all lined up. And now, so just a slightly different way of doing it, because I had a partial edge that I had to take out to assemble. But there we go. That is the olive green face. And yeah, it's coming along, right? These first few faces take a little longer, and but we just keep cranking through them, and pretty soon we'll be done that half of the puzzle. And then things will really pick up. All right, I think this would be a good time to take a short break. So after the break, we'll come back and continue solving the regular hex faces on the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. All right, we're back and solving the regular hexagons on the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. We started with the yellow. We've done purple, brown, olive, green. Just two more to go on this north pole of the puzzle, based on the yellow being north. And then we'll be working on the second half. I think you can see that this will go a lot quicker on the second half, because there are fewer steps to getting the pieces in the right half of the puzzle. So another relatively easy one with the dark blue. There's the horizontal, and see if I can. There's a horizontal. I'll take advantage of the fact that I have to turn this face anyway to get that incorrect edge out of there. There's quite a few different ways to approach this. I think you know, I'm showing you one way, but always be good to kind of experiment a bit. Now, just as a complete and total coincidence, these three pieces are joined together. So you know what? I will take that. Okay, I'm not too proud of it. Accept the little present from my puzzle. So this is the other horizontal that I need here, and I don't normally like to crowd pieces too close together, but in this case, I know that this horizontal piece is going to be off of there pretty quickly. All right, there we go. Whoa. Okay, so there's the horizontal, the two horizontal pieces. This one doesn't really go there. Might as well actually, you know what? This one actually goes right there. So let's see how I'm going to do this. Move that. Actually, it can't go there. Or can it? Maybe. Maybe it can. Ah, there it is. Okay, so it went there. I just noticed that as I was. All right. I need some more these edges. Wow, they're all over here. This is kind of in the way at this point, so I'm just going to move it over here. It's in the way because all of the blue face pieces are down in this direction. So, all right, well, since I got to move this, I might as well see if it fits here. Look at that. That was great. That fit perfectly. Okay, and I'll just bring this edge up as well. And so this puzzle's been breaking in. I didn't have to do any lube to it or anything like that. It was always a pretty good turner, getting just a little smoother. Not a dramatic change. Theoretically, you could put a little bit of lube under these pieces. It might improve the turning a bit, but I haven't found any need to do it yet. So I'm just happy with the way it is. It was just a little stiff when I first started, but not too bad. So I managed to put that entire strip together. So that's a good thing because we're actually making some really good progress here. So if I flip that up, that's not going to go there. I'm just wondering if it'll go there though. And indeed it did go there. So wow, this is, well, what are the odds that either this strip or this other strip will go right in there? I think it's actually pretty likely. And that just fit right in there, which means that this other strip pretty well has to go there. This piece has to go there, which means this one can come out and I can just put everything together. Now I'm taking a little bit of a chance that I might have made a mistake here, but I think it's a pretty safe bet. So that one goes there. I'll get the left one. I don't usually do it this way, but I'll get the left one because that just came out. Yeah, and that does line up. So you know what? This has got to work. And I just so happen to have everything rotated properly. So, so that went pretty quickly, and that's kind of a sign of things to come as we finish off this side. It gets easier and easier to find the pieces. Now this one here, I'm going to just take this edge out because it doesn't belong. And this other edge this is a horizontal edge. It does belong, but not in that slot. So let me find the horizontal orientation. This lime green is, I can see it. Yeah, it is kind of a little tough to see. All right. So that's one, and this edge doesn't belong there either. So why not see if it fits in there? It does. Just lucky. Well, I mean, the odds are pretty high, actually. Okay, so this doesn't actually, this edge doesn't belong. No, it doesn't go there either. I was just looking for a place to stash it out of the way, so I'll just, there we go, and then bring that back. Okay, still got to find the other horizontal edge. They are kind of scattered to the wind here on this puzzle. Just see if that one goes together. Always nice to have them together, like just as quickly as possible, because it sort of gives you an idea of how it reduces the work to get the rest of it put together. Okay, so these ones I can actually check these pretty quickly. That wasn't it. And oops. Okay, I'm sort of gonna have to do it this way. It's okay. Okay, that wasn't it either. Well, that's very strange. There's the other horizontal one, and what I think is that these two probably belong to the horizontal section. So I'm just gonna go ahead and oops, bring these up onto this face, because I do plan to get rid of them or put them up there pretty quickly. I've lost my. Oh, okay. I'm way further. It's way on another face. Okay, that's fine. So I'll put that up there, and then I'll get these other two pieces. I think they belong to the horizontal section. All right. Well, I made it a little difficult for myself here because there's no easy way to flip this face back, but I think it'll be fine. So there's the other horizontal one, and I do believe that these two corners, at least one of them is gonna match with a horizontal. Indeed, that matched, and now I can flip that back, and I wouldn't be surprised if the other one matches as well, just because they didn't match with any of the other edges. So, nope, that's not it. So really kind of going, yeah, that one worked. Very good. Let's see if this one fits. No. And then, so that, I think that's the end of that one. Just got to watch that I'm keeping everything on camera here. All right. I think this one will be correct. It is. Okay, well, that went together fairly quickly. Now, there's another edge here. Try to keep everything oriented properly. Now, I notice I have, oh, okay. Ah, look at this. I've got this one flipped around somehow. I didn't notice that. So here's actually a good time for me to just kind of talk about this then. Actually, you know what? I'll wait until I'm done solving this one, and then we'll tackle that. Remind me, okay? All right. Let's see here. And there's still some more edges and corners and stuff. Okay. Okay, so I'll see if this one fits somehow on this. And no, it doesn't fit in that direction, but I could fit in this other direction. No, wow. Okay, so that must be another edge, horizontal edge piece then. And, Okay, so see if I can get this one to fit over here. And indeed, it fits. Okay, great. So we got those two strips right there. And let's see here. So I wonder if that fits all together. No, it doesn't. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's see if it fits. Okay, well, I don't want to try that then. Okay. So if this piece belongs there, then this one will match with that. So I'm going to try it. It doesn't. So that tells me then that this piece fits right here. And in order to prove that, I'm going to have to go over here. And I know we're gonna temporarily munch this, but that's okay. And yes, it does fit. Okay, so what I have to do then is I'm gonna take this out of the way. And this is our usual putting in an edge routine. We just don't have quite a full complement of edges as we've had in the past, but that's okay. We can make it work. So then my other question is, did these two pieces belong there? And I think the answer is probably going to be yes, but let's try it. Yes, it is. So that creates a bit of a dilemma here. Actually, it's not bad. I can just take this out, no problem. And the reason I'm able to do that without removing this is because we're putting in an edge, but it has a corner attached. So it slots right in there. And then this part can go right here. There we go. Okay. And three pieces, so shouldn't be too difficult to figure out what's what here. Let's see. Okay, well, this can't go on this side, so it's got to be on this side. So this will match with that. It does. So now, okay, this is going to be a little bit awkward. You know what? I'm just going to move this edge off to an adjacent face, just to get it out of the mix. Maybe if I was solving this on my own, I might not, but I just want to try and avoid any confusion here. So now these pieces go right there. So what I'm going to do, I'll put this here. Then this one goes here. Then these ones go up. And then this will go back in here. So lime green, almost completely done. Everything's lined up quite nicely, just that one piece left. Okay, and we've done this so many times now. And now you see why I've got an actual procedure down for it, because it just happens so often. Can only work if you don't have anything else on the face, because otherwise you'll be you run out of room. And of course, it's a good kind of trick for the end game here. And then this one, and I just want to make sure I didn't mix those up. Yeah, okay, yeah, everything good. So as we were doing that, and we've got all these done, I noticed I do have this edge flip, which is a good opportunity to show you how to fix this. Now, this one is not a completed edge, but we would do this exactly the same thing as I'm going to do. I'm going to put the horizontal part so that it's facing the edge that we want to flip. And if this was a completed edge, this is just partial here, but I would also put the horizontal here. In this case, it really doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to flip it, and right, I'm going to flip this edge, and it doesn't matter which one of these I do. I'm going to flip the other 180 degrees, the hex face. Okay, just one of them. Then I flip this edge again. Then I flip the hex face again. And then I finally flip the irregular hex face. And it's fixed the orientation, and you can see that this is not harmed at all. Okay, and nor was this harmed. So really what we did was we 3-cycled this edge, and this edge, right? So basically, yeah, and that's all we did. It flipped these 2 edges around, left this one alone, and then as a result of that, also flipped that one. Okay, so it's a very useful technique to get out of that situation, and these equivalent edges can also be used in a couple of other places in the end game. So that is the half of the Rhombic Tuttminx 66, all nicely solved, all put together for both parts of it. So the next step, we're going to take a little break, but when we come back, I will then start working on this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the orange face for the end. That's a little bit of a deviation, and I will leave the orange and the silver to the end, just 2 nice contrasting colors. So I'll just start, and I will just solve 4 of these faces, and then we'll end up with the end game, which will be the last 2 faces. All right, but I think this is a good point to take a nice little break. All right, we're back with the Rhombic Tuttminx 66, and ready to tackle the South Pole, a second hemisphere of the puzzle. Already have the entire first half solved. Now with this, I've decided to, and just my preference here, we'll end up with orange and silver as my last 2 faces. So with that in mind, then I'm not going to try and solve the orange. I'll just go ahead and solve this way, starting with the pink, and there's only 4 faces that I will do. And then we'll have to switch to the last step, which is a slightly different way of solving. So we're just going to keep going with the same technique for these next 4 faces. I got my horizontal piece there. That isn't the right piece. Obviously, they're going to be much easier to find, these pieces here. And so that's still horizontal. That's the horizontal piece I want. So I'll just do this. Actually, yeah, I guess I have to do this swap there. So probably not the most efficient, but anyway. Okay, so that's one of the horizontal pieces, and then the other one. We don't have a lot of spots to look through here, so it's got to be one of these. So I can go this way, I guess. And actually, these 3 pieces are they're assembled together, so that's kind of good, I guess. Just to ward off problems, I'll go ahead and put that irregular pentagon back. So yeah, this last end game will go pretty quick, and then the last 2 faces, it's not super hard, just there is a specific strategy for it. Okay, so we have these 2 now in place. This is wrong, but that is correct. So I guess what I'll do then is, I know that this piece is wrong. I'll try and find one of these pieces that's the right one. That one might actually be it. Indeed it is. Okay, and I'm going to have to flip that back around. Okay, so that worked out well. Let's see if this one may well be the correct one that goes there. No, it's not. Okay. Oh well, worth trying. But it doesn't go there either. So what I'm going to do is going to move it over 1 position. Okay, got a couple more corners to try. So you see my strategy here is just, I get the horizontal ones in, and I do try, that's not going to be it. I do try to get the corners as well for the horizontal ones as a place to start. And no, that's still not it. Okay, well, here's another one down here. Okay. Now, okay, that one's correct. I guess I should have probably tried this one as well on all of these, because it is, it's actually the opposite. I don't think that's going to be. I might have even tried that one. Didn't work. Okay, so that one's done. So I'll try this one over here on that, and that is a match. Okay, very good. Now this, I don't think that's actually, I don't even know what that is. I accidentally put that one in there, I guess. As a matter of fact, it's kind of bad to have that in there. So what I'll do, I'm just going to temporarily take this one out. Okay, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but oh well, it actually is. It's a match, so go figure. There we go. So that worked out pretty well, and I still have a problem where I've got this pentagon, irregular pentagon, flipped around, but I'll fix that at some point. Okay, so far so good. I've got these. Let's see if I can figure out a place for this one. Okay, that was right on. And I should have a few more. Do I have a few more corners to put? Maybe not. All right, well, this one, I will check to see if it goes here or here. Okay, I'm going to move that over a bit. Okay, and indeed, so it matches over here. So what I'm going to do, let's see, where can I put this? Okay, I can put it right there. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. It kind of breaks my rule about putting it to the right or whatever if it's from the right, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just remember this little section, and now I'll go right back and put it there. And now I think my chance to. Oh well, no, this is fine. It was the other one that was flipped around. All right. Okay, so that one's good. So it's quite possible. I was going to say that one might go there, but I don't think so. Still could, but probably not. This could well be correct, but I'd have to. Oh, no, it's not. Actually, this one could attach to that, and the way to tell is to flip this down, and if it matches, then the pieces do belong there. So let's try it. And yes, it does match. So these two go right in there. And yeah, I'll just flip this in here for now. Okay, great. Oh, definitely getting towards the end here. So we have that one, and then these two, obviously they have to go there, but let's just double check. So the way to check is to flip this one and see if it matches there. Yep. Yeah, it does. Okay, and then I have to move it. I need just a little bit of space in order to put that one in. Okay. Yeah, was that? Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, I think I may have lost a recipe here, but I think we're good now. Okay, and then put that one in. All right, great. And that's the right orientation now. I think I fixed that. Okay, now I have managed to mangle these a little bit. I think I might have, yeah, this is what I was warning about before. Wow. Boy, oh boy, I've done a good number on that. But that's okay. I'll fix it up. Actually, I'll fix it up after. We won't get distracted right now. Yeah, this is what I was warning you about. And it does happen. And wow, I really, I noticed one was flipped, and it just really didn't occur to me it would be such a big problem. Okay. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna put this one. We know the drill here. That pink face might be just a little stiff. I'm not 100% sure. Some of these are. Okay, I'm gonna set this up so that we won't have a rotation. Which okay, so double check that everything's good. It is, and definitely making some progress there on this side. But wow, I managed to trash all of this. But it's not really as big a deal as it looks. I know it looks horrible. The main thing is going to be, just want to make sure I don't mangle this. So this is correct, but we've dislodged this piece. So, it's really just a matter of solving it, but you want to make sure that you don't turn this. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. So we got that. And now if I flip this around, it'll solve that. But then, okay, so you see what's happened here is we managed to take that chunk out. So I don't want to do any more to risk this. So I'm just going to flip this whole thing. Since this is not solved, we'll just save this chunk, and then whatever we do is not going to hurt anything. All right, there we go. So that one's good. And I'll flip that around. All right, we're getting back in business here anyway. Gotta put that one back. Wow, did I ever manage to mangle this a lot? So now what I'm going to do, I know I said don't turn it, but what I basically meant was don't wreck an edge. So I got to be careful that whenever I turn one of these, I've got the edge I don't care about facing it, and the solved part is safely tucked away. So what I'm going to do is flip this down because I need to get this one back in there. And if you notice this, oh, this is good. This part actually belongs in there. Look at that. So when I flip this around, whoa. Yeah, this is a lot easier to do with just one face that you're trying to protect, not a bunch. And then, so that's looking better. And now this one, I think I can actually just flip it around and it should be good. Okay, so we got that fixed. And then we got that fixed. Okay. And last but not least, we got that fixed. Okay. So there you go. So all in all, not a terrible, horrible thing, but it is kind of ugly, and it's you don't want to let that go because you'll be doing a lot more fixing. So now that I've managed to do that, I put this back, and it causes no problem here. It would have been a little more complicated if there were other faces as well, but basically that's all you need to do is just you can take out one chunk and put some unsolved parts there and just move that chunk around as you need it. So there we go. Okay, so this is where we started, and we're going this way. And if you see me doing that again, just shout out, say something. Oh, look at this, another flipped edge. Wow, that's okay. I don't even know why I did that. Now this one, because it's a fully formed edge, I have this this great strategy where I put the horizontal this way. So this is one of the horizontal edges. Spin it around. Okay, so horizontal edge. Flip this back, and now one more horizontal edge. And I swapped those two edges, but I've also reversed this. And in terms of it doesn't make any difference because it's symmetrical. All right. Now that would get much harder if these if this was an asymmetrical pattern. I don't even know how I would do that. Okay, so the pink. So this dark silver is the one we're doing next, and I'll just kind of put the working part over here because everything to my left is solved. I like these nice dark colors. They're great. You know, variety I think is important. But I'm just gonna turn some of these pieces down while I'm doing this. Yeah, variety is important, but it is kind of cool to be able to see the pattern easily. Now this piece right here goes right there. I know that. So it's not terrible if I just bring this down, since I know this piece, where this piece goes in. Move it over. Now, not this one, but this edge. I know it's but that's okay. This will all get sorted out here. Bring that back down because we don't want that. And then bring this back. Okay, so that was a long, windy way of actually solving three pieces just now. Okay, and I'll just see if this piece goes in there. That would be kind of a cool deal, and it does. So we're definitely making some quick progress here. There's another horizontal one, which also has a few pieces that are not part of it. I'm going to see if I can get this one to go. Yep, that was good. And then I will bring this horizontal one out here. Okay, and this one right beside it is not a match, so I'm just going to bring that down. Okay, got it. There we go. And I think that one will go there, so I'll just move it that way. And this one will come back up, but it'll be over there, so it's not as much in the way. So all of that was just to get this right here. Oops, so actually, all right. Very good. And now I'm going to try to fit some of these corners in. That wasn't it. There you go. That one fits. And we'll try it on this side. Nope. Okay. So I think it's possible that this might actually work. Now, I got to be careful here because this one's flipped. Yeah, don't want to cause that same problem I just had, just fixed. But you see how easy it is, right? You get wrapped up in solving the other puzzle. So, all right. So I'm going to try and put this one over here and see how that goes. Yep, that worked. Okay. Now this is flipped, but that's fine. We'll deal with that. And now I have a couple of pieces. Now, I am going to break my own rule and try and fit this in, but I'm going to be very careful to leave this in this rotation. So it's okay as long as I just put this back. That's not it. Let's see if it goes the other way. Yeah, that was good. And what I'll do is I'll bring this whole piece back. Now, this is the way it was. And, oh, I guess that was kind of, I probably shouldn't have done that. All right, it's okay. I get this. Okay, so because of that, now this piece is here. And I got to decide yeah, where this one goes and then where this one goes. So what I'm kind of wondering, I'm going to flip this up and see if it belongs there. Yeah, it does. Okay, so that's really good. I'm going to just have to take this one out, and because this one's in the way, I'll put it over here to the left, even though that's probably not really what I want to be doing. Okay, so that one's in. And now this one's in, and then I think we're down to just a couple of pieces here. Perfect. So it's not really, I'm just going to match this over here and then bring it back. There we go. So now that's all set. And those are the last pieces I have to put in. So this I can put this in with an edge, that's fine, but I have to take this one out. So I'll do that. Okay, and we'll come back. And now in order to make sure that this is rotated properly, I'll bring it down. And there we go. Another one. Nicely assembled, all sections proper. So not too bad. A couple more of these. So the gold one, I love this this gold color. It's a really really vibrant. All of these metallics are really nice. So this one is gonna go over there. So I'll just flip that up, and then I can take out these two unrelated pieces. There we go. And there's the other horizontal. Actually, I'm just going to take out those to isolate that one piece anyway. Okay. And there we are. And I'll just put that back around. Now, let's see if I can fit some of these. I'll see if I can fit that one in. Nope. Okay, that one, this one might be it. No, it's not. Okay, and then I'm going to try the other direction here. And that is indeed the one. And I'm just going to take this out because it doesn't belong there. Okay, so I got one in anyway. And I'll see if I can get this to go in this side. Nope. Okay, I may have already tried all these possibilities. Yeah, okay, so that one definitely doesn't belong there. But I do have these ones. And, you know, like this one I can see it's got horizontal stripes. So it definitely, when it's in this orientation, so it definitely belongs on one of these. I'm just not sure which one. And that one right there. Very good. Nope. Okay. Okay, now try and get these. Oop. So I'm going to see if I can find a match for this one on one of these edges. Something like this. Definitely not. Okay, but that one was good, so I'll just bring it back just to keep everything tidied up here. This edge and this don't go, so what I'll do is I'll see if I can make a match out of this one. And indeed, it is a nice match, so I'm just going to bring it right back here. Nice. Okay, and now I'll try to match these edges to the ones I already have up here. That didn't go. This one, which isn't a match for the edge it's attached to, it is a match for that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this whole edge that's assembled and just to break it away from that one. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, and so this is the whole strategy, just trying to match stuff up. And, okay, that one's good. So we got a nice whole edge right there. Perfect. And once I have a couple of those strips, it really doesn't matter because everything else is quite easy to find its place. Okay, so this one, I just got to figure out where this belongs here. And, well, let's just try that one. No, definitely not that. So there's not really much other choice. It's probably that, and indeed it is. So that's good, which means this strip probably belongs there. Okay, and I'll just bring this down. Yeah, I'm gonna be careful here. Just gonna flip that around. Yeah, some of these faces are just a little stiffer than others, but eventually it'll all smooth out nicely. Okay, so, well, we've got two of these, and the thing is that they're not across from each other, so they are different. So what I'll do is I'll figure out which one goes there. And the way to do that, if I flip this down and it matches that, then it means that this one goes over there, and if not, then it's the other one. That does match, so that means that this one goes there. So we know how to handle this case. We've done this quite a few times now. Okay, now turn that down to set it up so that when I finish, the edge will be properly oriented. So there you go, almost done here. And then just do the same thing on this side. Okay. Yeah. It's always a lot of fun to figure out how to solve a puzzle. Those first few steps where you're trying to figure out how it works and how things move around. I always enjoy that part. Okay, there you go. We've got our gold face done. Keeping in mind that our reference for this part of the solve is the orange. So that one's our top. And then we can look back, pink, dark silver, gold. And now we'll do red, and then that just leaves us the last two faces. Now, when you're doing your own solve, you may want to finish here and just do the same technique on the red face or the third last face as well. It gives you a little bit more working room at the cost of having to do the algorithm maybe a few more times. I'm going to show it on just the way I do it, which is just the last two. Which means I'm going to solve this one as well. So we have the horizontal one there. And we really truly running out of room. We're down to these 3 faces here. So, so this horizontal one, there's another horizontal one there. So I'm going to try to, I'll put that here, and then that's the horizontal there. And bring this down, and then this is the other horizontal, which goes there. Okay, so everything on here is correct. So I'll try and place a few of these corners just to get everything moving. Oh, that worked perfectly. And okay, that wasn't it. And it can't be it as over there either, just because of the way these things have to go, as those are equivalent pieces. I'm going to flip this around and see if it works. It does, so that's good. I need to be able to get this unwound here, this face corrected. Okay, very good. Now this is all just a big mess here because none of these are related, but this one definitely goes on a horizontal, so I think I might be able to fix it with that. Yes, that's good. But now I've got this face flipped around. Actually, I got that face flipped around. Oh boy, I'm causing myself some problems here. So what I'm going to do, this is just junk here, so for now, actually it's an actual piece. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can use it. And all I want to do now is just use that to get me a way to get this face fixed. And now I can come back here and fix this one. This really shouldn't have happened, but what can you do? And pretty much the same thing. I'm going to flip this down. I'm going to put some unsolved pieces up, which puts the face in the right orientation. So yeah, I got to really watch that sort of thing. All right. Well, let's just see what's what here. I'll just see if this one goes over there. It does, so that's good. Okay. So now I'm just going to figure out where these individual pieces go. So if it's there, it would have to be this one. And we would turn this down. And indeed, it does match up, which means this piece goes right over there. So I will make some room here to the left. And then put that in, and then we'll come back. Now I want to make sure that this, yeah, we're correct here with the orientation. Okay, very good. So this one's good, and now we know where these two go, obviously right over here. And the nice thing is that I can safely put these ones up here. I can take this out. And I'll only have to take that one out. Oh, ouch. Okay, something went a little bit haywire there. It's probably that. Okay, so what's the scoop here? Yeah, this and this are probably equivalent pieces, and I'll flip it up just to verify that. I think, maybe not. No, they're not. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so one of these is an equivalent piece, so I'll figure it out. Yeah, this is kind of a little bit weird, but it's not too bad. So if this edge went here, then I would expect this piece to match up with it. So let's try that. Yeah, and it does work. So this edge belongs right there, and we're just gonna basically knock out a that corner, which is perfectly fine. Okay, flip that. Yeah, okay. I think I got this right. Maybe we'll figure it out. Okay, so that edge, it's fine. I think. Anyway, no. What did I do? Oh man. All right. I think I'm losing the recipe here. Yeah, this is a horizontal one, which goes right here. Right, and these two, this one goes right there. So why am I having this problem? I'm just going to check this here. No, it's not. Huh. Okay. All right, let me just try something here. Okay, if this one goes there, it means that piece belongs there. No. Okay, that's where things are a little bit... Oh, okay. Okay, I had that wrong. Yep. Okay. So this one goes right there. I'm not sure. I'm probably just getting tired or something. So I'm just going to put that one edge in and then kind of re-evaluate how this whole thing's looking. I think what I've got is some kind of equivalent, two equivalent pieces, and I'm having a hard time just figuring out where they actually go. It's fine. All right. Okay, so that one goes there, and that's not a match. Oh boy. That's not a match. Ay. Did I wonder if yeah, see, this is the whole idea behind this, is not to have this sort of guessing going on. All right. Yeah, I'm clearly, I think I'm getting tired is what it is. Okay, this all works, but it doesn't line up with that. So now I've just kind of that doesn't line up with that. So the question is then, with that, I'm just going to test this because it's just sort of that does line up. Okay, and now I've just thoroughly shuffled those. I knew that was happening. Sort of. Okay, I'm just going to flip this back around so I don't wreck any more of it. Okay, there you go. So it didn't really hurt anything over here. So with that in mind now, I can put that in, so I know that works. And yeah, so you see I have a full chunk here, but I don't have a full chunk to put it in. But what I think that means is it's okay. I think it's, yeah, so this all works, and these two go together over there. Okay, so not my finest effort there. that doesn't go. Definitely got to go here. And indeed, that fits together. So I don't know. When you get tired, that can actually be an issue where I just couldn't see what I needed to do. And I probably just made the same mistake over and over again. In any case, we have this now. We know that this goes here. I can leave that, and then I just have to take that one chunk out. So not a terrible thing. I guess I should have done a bit more analysis there or something. Okay, sort of getting towards the end here, so that's it. Okay, so that's done. That was a bit of an ordeal. So as you can see, we are really very, very far along here. Got these second half, the 4 faces, and the only 2 faces that aren't solved are the orange and the silver. And this is not a really long step. It can be, it might take a little while the first couple times you do it if you have to do setup moves, but it's actually usually goes fairly quickly. All right, let's just take a break before we tackle the last 2 faces on the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. All right, we're back and ready to tackle the last 2 faces on the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. Look at that. Isn't that a sight to see? This is such a cool looking puzzle. Okay, so we're kind of out of room, right? So far, what we've been doing is swapping pieces back and forth using 3 faces or 4 or surrounding faces, and we're totally out of room. So the strategy here is to only put the edges in. That's all we care about. So for example, this is a horizontal edge, and I'll just find this is another horizontal edge, so I kind of want, well, anyway, I'm just gonna get that horizontal edge out of there. Okay, there we go. So this is one of the horizontal edges. Okay, and then this is the other horizontal edge. And now this is where things get a little bit tricky, just because we kind of have to figure out, maybe using the adjacent faces, what these other edges will look like. So for example, this horizontal edge, so these edges kind of go that way. So that actually looks pretty good, I think. Maybe. No, maybe not. Okay, I'm going to see if this one fits a little better. Okay. Still not all that great. Okay. I think that might be okay. So what else can we do? Well, let's see if I can get... I might be able to get... These 2 pieces are attached, so if these actually go up here, then that would sort of help a little bit. No, they don't actually go. I wonder if they go over here. Okay, this is the other horizontal edge. Nope, still don't fit. Okay, all right, I'm still trying. This one definitely goes on one of the horizontal edges. Might be that one, and I know I'm gonna knock out a corner there, but it's not really a problem. Okay, I don't know if those are correct. Yeesh. All right, well, anyway, I have my 2 horizontal edges. Yeah, that one doesn't really, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. I think this one's the same. So this one might be just a little different, and it might fit better, might fit with the pattern better. Not really. As a matter of fact, this definitely doesn't go there. So, yeah. Okay. So let's see now. It's really hard to kind of see because they kind of go that way. This definitely isn't it. Maybe this one's better. Yeah, that one's definitely better. So this one. So they kind of going across. And what that means is that this one that we had that wasn't correct there has got to go there. So let's have a look. Yeah, that looks better. You can sort of see the pattern. As a matter of fact, those are all correct right now. So that one's good, that one's good, that one's good. Now that we have a few of them in, we can actually, because they're symmetrical, right? So this one goes that way, that one goes that way, and this one definitely is the wrong one for there, which tells me that basically I have to move it over here. So this is all to say that we're trying to put just the edges in. I know I'm trying to sneak the occasional corner in. Oh, look at this. This is an entire horizontal edge all nicely assembled for us. So that's kind of nice to see. And it actually goes there. So that's great. That saves us a little bit of work. Okay, so now this should look correct just from the edge, from the edges point of view. And the orange is probably the hardest one to see. I'll bring it towards the camera a little bit. But hopefully just the edges, not the corners, but just the edges are all nicely lined up. Okay. So we've got one done, and now we got to do the other one. And the nice thing is it's not super hard. Okay, so this actually is all correct. If it wasn't correct, all we would do is just take one of our edges, probably one of the horizontal ones. We just take one out and then use it to swap everything around. And once you get everything swapped around, you'll end up one more swap to get the orange edge back. So we didn't have to do anything here, and we've got these sorted out. Now, notice we've got this flipped around, and so this is a great example of where we have to use our algorithm to flip the irregular hexagon back. And we want to make sure that the horizontal edges are up and down when we do this. And all we do is we flip it once. We flip either one of them and it doesn't matter. And then we flip it back. Flip it one more time. And then we flip everything back. And once that's done, hasn't hurt that one. That's still a horizontal edge. That's still a horizontal edge. And now this is back to where it belongs. Well, this is great. So at this point, all we have left are a few corners that we have to work out. So the way the algorithm I have works is that we basically have a right and a left. Well, actually, this is our left here. But anyway, we have two faces that need pieces swapped around. And then there's a third face. And there's a couple ways to use this third face. First of all, it's not going to get hurt because in the end, we only use one piece from it. But if you really wanted to, if you were really keen, you could do a setup move. You could move a chunk of this over, and then move a chunk of that over and move it in and then use it. See? So that's a very advanced technique, but if you wanted to do setup moves, you could certainly do that. Personally, I think it's fine doing it a less efficient way, which is just to move our pieces around. Basically, I want to solve one piece over here at a time, and in so doing, we're going to end up with a final move where we solve all three remaining pieces. Okay? So the way this algorithm works then is we have this face here. We're going to call this F and call that R. This is really where things get moved, but this piece here moves to that slot. That piece moves to that slot, and that piece moves to that slot. Okay. And what I really like about this algorithm is that it's very easy to see, because your pieces do flip around, it's very easy to see what is going to happen by just checking it. So this piece is going to go there. Is that the right piece? It's not, right? So since that isn't the right piece, let's just turn this down and see if we can find the right piece. That's not it either. All right, well, let's try this. So that is the right piece for there. So I know that when I do this algorithm, this one is going to go here and going to solve this piece. And you see we don't have that many pieces to do here. Okay. It'll also take that piece and put it up there, take that piece, put it down there. But that's okay. We can sort of work with that. Again, if we really wanted to, we could try to figure out where this one goes. And if it's maybe over here or something, we could somehow move it through here, through there, and then put it in. That's an advanced solving technique. I encourage you to test it out. I encourage you to try it when you're ready, because let's face it, this very shallow cut puzzle, the worst you can do is wreck 3 faces. That's it. And even then, it would be very hard to do. So there's not a lot of risk to practicing and testing things out and trying it. And trust me on this one, I know what I'm talking about. This algorithm comes from a lot of testing and trying. So I want to set it up just to make things easier on me. Well, this piece has to be there. So for this red, I've got the horizontal stripes this way. It just makes things easier. And for this one, I have to put that piece there so the orientation is kind of fixed. All right, so the algorithm is going to be very similar to the one we've been using. Everything's 180-degree turns, and it's basically going to be right, left. Sorry, did I call this front before? Sorry, this is left. So it's going to be right, left, and this is what I'm calling our F, or front. I know it's probably not the best, but it's just the way. So I'm going to turn this 180 degrees. So that's right, left, right, left. So those are all 180 degrees. Now we're going to do F, which is just that one, 180 degrees. Okay. And now we'll undo everything. So we'll go here and we'll start with the left. Left, right, left, right, and then we go and we do F. Okay, so let's see what happened. Well, the piece that was there went here and solved that. That's good. The piece that was there went up there and just is kind of there. And the piece that was there went up there and it's just kind of there. But that's great. That's exactly what we want. So the next one we'll solve then is probably one of these. So let's see if we can solve this one. So we're going to put the piece up here. And now I'm going to see which one of these two I'll go there to solve it. Now, it is also possible, in this case, we don't have any, this is kind of a cool one where all of these are already solved, because sometimes you'll have one there that maybe belongs up there, and then you have to do a couple extra cycles. You know, this is a bit of a, this is a stage that just requires a bit of experimentation and trying different things. You really can't hurt anything. So that one didn't fit, so it's pretty well got to be that one. And indeed it is. Okay. So now when we do this, this one will go there and it'll solve that. This one will go there, and I don't know if it'll solve that. But we could, let's see, how can we see? Yeah, we can actually check. And the way you check, this is kind of, we'll do that, and then we'll flip this down and see. No, it doesn't actually solve that. So, you know, if we wanted to do something advanced, we might. So that's we'll either solve that one or that one. But you know what? It's fine. We don't have to worry about it. We'll just go ahead and do this, and then this will go in there, but it'll be wrong. But that's okay. All right, let's do our algorithm again then, and we're just going to solve one piece at a time. So remember, it's right, it's 180 degrees, left, 180 degrees, right, left. Okay, then we just adjust this and we do F. And then we undo everything and we start from the left. So left, right, left, right, and come back and then undo our F. Okay, and the whole point of that was to solve that piece, and we've accomplished that goal. Okay, so now we've got one piece left to solve on a silver. It's sort of helpful for us now to think about maybe, because that can be the last one, is it possible that we could instead solve that one with this next turn? Yeah, so this is all good. So this piece is wrong. So yeah, I am kind of curious to know if this piece belongs there. So the way to figure that out is you got to turn it up. I know it's a little awkward, but and then see if it lines up. And indeed, it is correct. So let's see how we can make use of this. I like that idea of, so this will go here, that'll go there, and this piece doesn't belong there. That'll go there, this will go there, and it'll solve that. I think we're onto something here. I think this is going to work. So all I want to do now, I'm just going to put another orange one there, and then this one's going to go there and solve that. Okay, and we're getting down to the very end here. This is going to be really, really good. All right, so the algorithm then is right, left, right, left, and then F. Okay, then we undo everything, left, right, left, right, and we got to remember to do that F. Okay, wow, let's take stock here. So all of these corners are solved. Oh, this is beautiful. So what's left then is we got to somehow, we know that this piece will solve this one. We know that. So the question is, does this piece, okay, and then this piece will go up here. All right. So we might be, so the question is this piece, does it belong here or does it belong here? It's not important, but it would be nice to know. So I'm going to bring this up and see if that piece solves that one. It doesn't. So in a way, it's probably good. So we're going to end up then, we're going to solve this one. This will be completely done. Then this will go there, and then that won't be solved. You know what? I think we need to be a bit more strategic about this. Okay, that one doesn't solve that one. It does solve that one. If we do that, this will go there, that'll go there, that'll be solved. And then we'll have two pieces that need to be solved, which sounds really bad, but I got a escape plan for us. So I kind of like this. So I'm gonna do this. This one I believe will solve that. Well, let's just check. Just make sure to check. Yep. Okay. So yeah, so I like that whole thing. It'll be fine. All right. There's a reason why I picked these horizontal pieces. Remember, there's another set up there which could get us out of a jam here. It really could. All right, let's go. We'll do it again. This will go here, won't solve anything. That'll go there, won't solve anything. That'll go there, it'll solve that one. And we'll be left with two pieces needing to be swapped. And you know you can't just swap two pieces on one of these puzzles, but I got an escape. All right, let's go. So it's right, left, right, left, F, and then undo it, left, right, left, right, and we gotta undo that one. Oh, look at that. That is just so magnificent. Magnificent. Okay, well, what's left? We know that that one goes in there, and it's going to solve that. That one goes in there, and it's going to solve that. And that one goes there. Oh, and it's going to solve that. Oh, it's perfect. It's a perfect 3 cycle. For some reason, I thought we would end up with 2. Okay. So, and that's exactly what we want to try and end up with. Okay. All right, here we go. Right, left, right, left, F, left, right, left, right, come back, and F. Undid the whole thing. Okay, wow, that worked out perfectly. I was overthinking that one, and that is the final step for the Rhombic Tuttminx 66. So, what do you think of that? That was kind of intense a little bit, the last couple algorithms, but just keep playing with that. You know, it's really quite okay. If you ever get into a jam where you do have 2 pieces left, keep in mind that this piece here and that piece are equivalents, right? So if you took this chunk and say put it down here, and then we're swapping that piece into there, and then that piece, you know, whatever. The point is that these 2 are equivalents. So if you ended up having to swap that piece, this piece back into the red, you could always do 180 degrees and swap it in there. Anyway, just one of those things. All right, so that's really it for this solve. I'll have a link in the description with or a list in the description with all the major topics of the solve, and this is probably, you know, one of my favorite of the whole series. I'll also put some links to other solves I've done in this series, and you know, maybe over time that list will grow. You know, I really appreciate your feedback, so let me know in the comments what you think. I know this was a really long video, but I hope you got something out of it. Let me know, and any other comments, other puzzles you want to see solved, and any other comments you want to put, questions you want to ask. And well, until next time, thanks for watching.